Hello everybody, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix with live watch-along coverage here on YouTube. In the box will be Megan Birch and Ian Birch joining me for the race commentary, and today's race is going to be something special as well. But this is the 13th round of the championship. 5 races remain, and today Mercedes could clinch their 7th Constructors' Championship. We move away from Portugal and back to Italy for the 3rd time this year. The Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. We're back in Imola for the first time in 14 years. This weekend we are in Imola for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. 2 weeks' time it's the Turkish Grand Prix before a double header in Bahrain, and the season rounds out on December the 13th in Abu Dhabi. Lewis Hamilton leads the championship by 77 points to Valtteri Bottas. The midfield table, though, is where it is at. McLaren versus Renault versus the Alfa Therese as well. It's getting strong at the end of the page. Carlos Sainz finally jumps up onto the top page. Page 2, no change there at the bottom though. Still no points for Latifi or Russell. Magnussen and Raikkonen staying where they are. The only mover up there was Sebastian Vettel, scoring 1 point last time out. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes leads the way by quite a margin to Red Bull, and McLaren, Racing Point and Renault still in the battle for the 3rd spot. It's heating up here in Emilia-Romagna. A 2-day event then here at Imola, something just a little bit different as teams had to face the challenge to get over to Italy from Portugal in the current COVID-19 pandemic. So let's take a look at what happened in the only practice session yesterday morning in free practice. Let's get into the only free practice session report then. Lewis Hamilton topping the timesheets early on, a 1:14.726. Verstappen second, from Bottas third. Gasly surprising him in 4th, but Leclerc in 5th place as well at Ferrari's effective home Grand Prix, the 3rd Italian Grand Prix of the season. We had Italy and Monza. Then we went to Tuscany and Mugello. Now we're here in Emilia-Romagna at Imola. And this track, of course, home to very famous Grand Prix. Some good, some bad, some tragic as well. But it was all eyes on the only practice session. A lot of drivers had their lap times deleted as they were going off the track in order to try and find the limit of this circuit, because only one driver has driven here before in Formula 1, that being Kimi Raikkonen back in 2006. To everybody else, all 19 other drivers, it's a brand new circuit. Hamilton raced here in GP2 in 2006, but by everybody else, they've basically had no running around this circuit. They've got to go on it quite quickly. A few spins off the track as well. The surprise for everyone was how far Vettel was down. Vettel ended the session in 12th place, but going into the last 2 minutes, he was 20th, doing a lot of long runs early on for the Ferrari to try and get any race pace going forward. The only practice session means that we go into qualifying a bit blind, because everybody, as Ian Birch said in the commentary in 3rd practice, everybody was a little bit hesitant to just put full throttle on. Nobody wanted to back out, make a mistake and go again. So really, it was a dangerous manoeuvre. But Hamilton leads the session here from Verstappen and Bottas. Many people of you thinking that this could be Verstappen's day. Well, we'll have to wait and see if he gets pole position. But it certainly is an interesting practice session. For the 90 minutes we got on a Saturday morning, it's about as good as it can be. Let's take a look at the times then from FP1. So Lewis Hamilton tops the only practice session here, a 1:14.726. Max Verstappen second, a 1:15.023. Valtteri Bottas third, a 1:15.218, followed by Pierre Gasly on a 1:15.633. Charles Leclerc fifth, a 1:15.688. Daniel Ricciardo on a 1:15.839. Esteban Ocon on a 1:15.945. Danny Kvyat a 1:15.966. Alexander Albon a 1:16.061. And Lance Stroll rounding out the top 10, a 1:16.082. Sergio Perez is 11th, a 1:16.109, followed by Sebastian Vettel a 1:16.167. Romain Grosjean 13th on a 1:16.550, followed by Carlos Sainz 14th, a 1:16.560 again. Drop further down, Antonio Giovinazzi 15th, a 1:16.564. Lando Norris is 16th, a 1:16.671. Kimi Raikkonen 17th, a 1:16.684. George Russell 18th, a 1:16.780. Kevin Magnussen 19th, a 1:17.060. And then we will get further down on the last place, Nicholas Latifi, a 1:17.779. So let's take a look at the qualifying report as we always do and start off with qualifying number 1. Bottas leads all the way. Russell gets through to qualifying 2. Valtteri Bottas found himself topping the Q1 session just after being in the drop zone for the majority of the first 18 minutes of qualifying. He made no mistake this time, though, after he ran off the track at the last corner, kicking out some stones and having his first lap time deleted as well. It really was not a great time for him. But going forward is a good time on the board for Alexander Albon. He was under pressure, but comfortably got through to Q2, as well as George Russell. It was not a bad time overall. Renault left it late with both cars to the lap, particularly from Daniel Ricciardo, but it was a smooth run all the way through as well. The only drivers eliminated back, tension Lance Stroll, racing driver on the bubble going through. Promoted Kimi Raikkonen's lap time got deleted by the stewards as well. He starts 18th on the grid. However, it was a bad run for Romain Grosjean, Kevin Magnussen, Kimi Raikkonen, Nicholas Latifi and Antonio Giovinazzi all getting eliminated. Pretty much who we suspected would be got there first in Q1. On to qualifying 2. Gasly shows stunning pace. Absolutely fantastic time as he went up into 3rd position within the same 10th of the 2 Mercedes. That was an absolutely spectacular time. High drama though, Verstappen frantic on the radio in Q2 saying, "I've got no power, I've got no brakes." Drama, he had to come into the pit lane to get new setup as well. Just minutes to go, he got back onto the track, got into Q3, the same as his teammate. Mercedes managed to get through on the mediums. Bottas led Hamilton on 1-2 again, so they start on the mediums going into the race. Gasly, the start of the session on the soft tyres, as I said, less than a tenth behind. AlphaTauri of Danny Kvyat also progressing for only the 2nd time in 28 Grand Prix. Esteban Ocon out-qualified Ricciardo as well for the 11th consecutive race. But out of the session went Perez, Ocon, Vettel, Russell and Stroll. Vettel starting way down the order, but because he had his lap time deleted. So that promotes George Russell up a place. On to qualifying 3 then, and it was a stellar run from Lewis Hamilton on the first run. On the second, it was Valtteri Bottas, an absolute golden opportunity for him to take pole position, and he did. Hamilton set the early pace. Bottas got ahead on the second run. It was very much trick or treat to continue Mercedes dominating here at Imola. Verstappen, easy 3rd. Gasly maintained his pace early on in the top 4. Albon 5th, but still not being out-qualified by Gasly. He's going to have to leave something going forward. Ricciardo, bunch of time on his second run, 8th to 5th. Great run. Leclerc outperforming Vettel again in 7th. Kvyat closer to Gasly, but we'll keep an eye on that going forward. But it is Valtteri Bottas with his 15th career pole. Okay, lights out coming out soon just before we cross over and our commentators join us in the commentary box. Let's take a look around the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix track. It's Imola, been on the calendar for, well, since 1980, and then it went off in 2006. Then it came back again now, so it's a very well-known circuit. But if you're new, let's take a look around with project cars. Start the lap then here at Imola. Down to turn 1, the Tamburello chicane, tight on the entrance as well and on the exit. Changed, of course, back from 1994 this entire section. Leads down towards the Villeneuve chicane. A possible overtaking opportunity. Of course, it's all Christian Albers' role here the last time he raced in 2006 when he was hit by Yuki Ide. Now down to the Tosa corner, a slow 2nd gear corner as you rise up the hill before the Ravazzas. Take the curb on the inside, get the power on mid-exit and then rise up. Ravazzas 1 and 2. The Acapulco Arena corners as well. This place is absolutely awesome as you fly past, keeping the throttle on mid-corner as you drop down towards the Acapulco 1 and 2 part of the track before coming up to the chicane at the top of the hill, which is absolutely terrifying in real life. You climb up the hill, controlling the oversteer, and then you have to aim your car towards the inside of the track. It is terrifying, believe me. Bounce over the curves normally. Track limits will be a warning here as well if anybody goes too wide over the green rumble strip. Drop down the hill now into what is the heaviest braking spot on the track as you are continually trying not to lock up your tyres and go straight onto the gravel trap, as we've seen so many cars do. Now the last corner's changed here. This is it. And as we approach the line, the new pit building on the left, building the early 2000s as well, just after F1 left. No chicane now, full throttle as you come onto the start straight now and across the line at the gantry. That is a lap of Imola. And welcome up to the commentary box, where I'm delighted to be joined by both Megan Birch and Ian Birch. For the first time, all three of us calling a race together at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Italy. It's Imola, one of the greatest circuits on the calendar, and certainly it claimed the life of Ayrton Senna and Roland Ratzenberger back in 1994. It's a 3.05 kilometre circuit, 4.909 kilometre if you're in the other side of the metrics. Only one DRS zone down the start-finish straight, 19 turns around this circuit, and we are all prepared to go. Back in 2001, Montoya went right round the outside of Jarno Trulli in an absolutely spectacular move at the Tamburello chicane. Further down at Tosa at turn 7 on the opening lap, Montoya again, this time right round the outside of Michael Schumacher. Schumacher claiming not to see him. Off the track, Montoya, he's either blind or stupid is what he called him. And Alonso, back in 2001 at the Varianta, went off the track as well. 3 tyre compounds to keep your eyes on throughout in this Grand Prix as well. Please keep an eye on the soft, which is the C4, the medium, the C3, and the hard is the C2 tyre compound. And we'll take a look now at how they line up on the grid then for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Also, we have our timing tower now just alongside, so we'll go through it together. Valtteri Bottas starts on pole position for just the 15th time in his career. Alongside him is Lewis Hamilton on the front row. Row 2 sees Max Verstappen alongside Pierre Gasly. The third row of the grid then sees Danny Ricciardo alongside Alexander Albon. Row 4 sees Charles Leclerc alongside Danny Kvyat. And the fifth row of the grid sees Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz for an all-McLaren fifth row. The sixth row of the grid sees Sergio Perez alongside Esteban Ocon. Row 7 sees George Russell ahead of Sebastian Vettel, who had his lap time deleted yesterday in qualifying. The 8th row, Lance Stroll alongside Romain Grosjean. And row 9, I should say, Kevin Magnussen alongside Kimi Raikkonen. The 10th row now sees Nicholas Latifi alongside Antonio Giovinazzi. For the first time, all three of us are in the commentary box for a Grand Prix. We've managed to fix the headset problem, so it's good afternoon to Ian Birch and to Megan Birch. Good afternoon, Dad, first of all. What a race we've got in prospect here today.
Hopefully a safe race.
Oh, if you could say that again.
Hopefully a safe race. I told you before you started that it wasn't
there you go. If I adjust your mic. There you are. Please try now. Please try now.
Get it away from me. That's it.
No, it's not. Hang on. We're having a few technical difficulties. Megan, tell us what you think of this Grand Prix so far.
I think that so far the Grand Prix is going to be okay, though I have a fear that the safety car will come out. Then again, you can say that with anything, though this is a particularly...
Yeah. It's this type of track, isn't it? Yeah.
Like that. Why is
the first question we've been asked is, surely safety cars coming out in this race. Very surprised if there isn't at least 2. It's as I said yesterday. It's and as Martin's just been talking about, it's one of the most dangerous circuits Formula One ever visited. It's too close to these barriers. These barriers are not designed to.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
Suppress impact. You hit these barriers, you hurt.
There we go. I've now managed to fix your microphone, so at least something's working right.
The interesting thing was the drivers were told when Ayrton was killed.
Yeah.
That it was Damon.
Yeah, I remember that as well. They were told that Damon Hill was the one who crashed at Tamburello. It wasn't Damon. It was, of course, Ayrton. But that was the situation going forward.
Michael knew that because Michael was behind him.
Yeah, Michael was the one who unfortunately had to witness Senna having that awful accident.
Yeah, and you know,
go on. I'll fix the problem.
Michael.
Yeah, go on. I'll fix the problem after you.
Michael in the Michael won that day, and
yes.
In the press conference, you could see how shocked he was, and who wouldn't be.
Everybody was.
And the day before, it was Senna himself. Senna, what happened with Roland was that he came up to the corner, and 2 parts of the suspension failed, and so he couldn't steer. And he tried to brake just like Senna did the next day.
Yeah.
But he just couldn't, and Roland was killed instantly as he hit the barrier. And then
it was a while, wasn't it? Senna was then told that Roland had a problem. Yeah, go on.
No, Senna was told Roland was dead.
Yeah,
and, went out in the repatriate.
Yeah.
One of the other cars other than the medical car, and he went out there to see his friend. He was his best friend. They were born in the same year. They were from different areas of the world, but they just got on really, really well with Gerhard Berger, who was their friend.
Yeah.
Gerhard didn't race the next day.
He withdrew from Roland. The race. Yeah.
And we only wish, with hindsight, Ayrton had withdrawn as well. There's quite a few of them who didn't want to race. Also, Massa didn't race that day.
Yeah.
Because on the Friday, he had a massive crash himself into one of these walls.
Megan, just quickly to you, the previous winners here, quite a lot of them have been Michael Schumacher.
Yes, they have. Wasn't it 2004? It was Schumacher, then it was Alonso, then it was Schumacher.
And Schumacher, yeah. So, just to give
That's why when Sky looked for a lap to show of this circuit, it was in fact Michael's.
So, just to quickly, watch the lap counter just underneath the A on the screen. That will give you all the information you need to know for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, the hashtag Imola Grand Prix. All the cars are lined up at the back, very much including Antonio Giovinazzi. For the first time since 2006, Formula One is to race at Imola, and we will have the 5 red lights, 2 on, 3 on, 4, 5 red lights. And action in Imola. Great start from Hamilton. He has the inside line. Bottas will try and have the advantage down towards the Tamburello. Look at Gasly. Had problems on the grid. He's to the outside. And Verstappen's up to second. Into Tamburello for the first time. Are we going to see any accidents here? Surely. As Danny Kvyat gets ahead of Charles Leclerc. Vettel's dropped right back. Coming through now up to the Villeneuve chicane. Albon looks to the outside. Yellow already out in the first sector. Someone's off. Into the Villeneuve chicane we go. Leclerc gets ahead of Albon. The 2 McLarens going side by side. Into Toza we go. Yellow still out the first sector. Can't see what's the problem. The 2 McLarens side by side at the top of Toza and Magnussen. Spinning. That's Magnussen round. And well, that is going to cause, if he can't get going, that's at Toza, cause a safety car.
Yeah, a good start, cautious start by Lewis. Lewis clearly got a launch control system failure there. And he got a good start and then bogged down as he hit the first corner.
Megan.
Okay, so it appears that we're now on a green flag. Magnussen has got going again. That leaves him at the bottom of the grid. Though, as I said yesterday, I didn't think Hamilton was going to have a very good start at this track. Given the fact that he even did a track walk around, it tells you that he's nervous at this track, and to be honest, who wouldn't be? So he's bound to be a bit cautious going into the first lap.
Absolutely great start though from Valtteri Bottas, keeps the advantage as Verstappen goes up per manoeuvre. Now, I'm surprised we didn't see any contact as there's debris on the track, and that looks to me to be orange.
Leaves.
Oh, the leaves. Well, the autumn with the trees lumbering into the back as well. It's lap 2 already of 63, and that is a racing point.
A racing point.
Front wing.
That's definitely not a leaf.
But clearly, that's the left part of the front wing.
Who is it, though? Who's going slowly?
Stroll.
Is it Stroll? Yes, it is Stroll. You're right. Yeah. So Stroll, again, making contact on the opening lap of the Grand Prix. Megan.
Right. So that definitely wasn't a leaf, so there was contact somewhere.
This is how... Yeah, so it's down at the It's down at Tamburello.
He comes up.
He hits the back of.
The back, and will that have given him a punch?
Hit the back of Ocon.
That
right
was
over the
just
gravel.
like a
yeah.
racing slight incident because that is a very narrow corner.
Yeah, not exactly a point of the track that we want to look at.
I believe that Stroll is still suffering from the after effects. Perez, when he came back, he wasn't himself for two races.
No, it took him a while to get it back into running. You're absolutely right. So it's lap 2 of 63. Bottas, Verstappen, Hamilton, Ricciardo, top 4. Gasly, Leclerc, Albon in a little battle as they come down towards Ravazza. And it's been, it's quite a difficult one. Varianta as well. Look at that, Verstappen fastest lap of the race. But in the battle, we now add in Kvyat to the running order. He's closing in on the top as well. Verstappen at 1:22.01 as the fastest lap of the race so far. Track temperature, though, at 24.2 degrees. It's increasing at the moment. So it's all a good start here for the Grand Prix. Megan.
Right, so it appears that Verstappen's getting...
Replay the start. Take us through the start.
Oh, the start?
Yeah.
Well, you can see that Verstappen gets a good start, though you can see Lewis is quite slow on the uptake, and he's even getting close. Gasly's even getting close to him. That tells
Hamilton was under pressure from Ricciardo on the inside into Tamburello.
Ooh, that nearly was close contact between Stroll.
Stroll hit the back of Ocon coming through Tamburello. Coming now up towards...
Max got a good start for that.
Yeah, great launch.
It was that break that Lewis had to do there, and then he just lost momentum.
Yeah, just lost it, didn't he? Just under pressure.
You can tell that Lewis was pulling off because Gasly's got way faster than him.
Hamilton did touch, and Gasly's got damage to his front wing. Look, he just cut it across. So I thought I saw Gasly having a little bit of oversteer at the start, and he did actually make contact. This is Giovinazzi up at Tosa. He's the one who goes up the inside and clips the back of Magnussen, as you well spotted out, Megan. Oh no, did Magnussen just lose it?
It was Vettel.
Yeah, Vettel tapped the front of him. So why we're on board there, I don't know. But this is Lando Norris around the outside.
Because that showed Vettel doing it. So that's why.
Top 3 finally in a battle for this race. That Racing Point wing right at the exit of Tamburello down to Villeneuve.
Anybody goes wide there, but it shouldn't go wide there.
Nah,
it's not that type of corner.
It should be an okay part.
Oh, look, race start. Gasly and Bottas, same.
Oh, you're right there. 4.5 seconds for each. And Bottas is a lightning getaway. So Gasly on those soft compound tyres did have the better start. I had a quick look earlier on. Every driver has one set of the hard tyres left. Only a few have a select of mediums. Bottas and Hamilton are not one of those. Megan, if you could just quickly turn down the heater that's underneath the desk, that'd be very much appreciated. Hamilton on board as he comes up to the Varianta at the moment. Downhill section of the track. Jumps over the curbs, looking quite good.
I don't know how to do it, so
I'll do it. I'll do it. Talk through the map.
Okay, so we're on board with Lewis now. He's recovering from the start. There is still got quite a gap between him and Bottas, and to be honest, it's only increasing. Though then again, he's just being cautious around a very, very
Don't you feel,
track.
Megan, that the top 3 are now slowly pulling away from the rest of the train? The other 15 cars... only Ricciardo and Gasly are trying to make any way towards the top 3. And of course we've got Magnussen and Stroll after their incidents. But Stroll's in a different position now because he's changed his tyres, right? Will he still do a 2-stop, or will he try and go all the way on this set of tyres?
Possible. I wouldn't be surprised. Was it hard tyres, 63 laps? We know they can do it on 50.
Doing it around about lap 50.
Yeah.
Or later.
Lap 43, I think most people.
43.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Megan, you said yesterday in the qualifying show that we could be seeing a 2-stop strategy being the fastest. That looks possible for Stroll, but what about the rest of the field? Definitely looks like the softs will have to stop again.
I would suggest a 2-stop strategy because this is quite a tyre
sensitive. Yeah, I knew you were going that one. Yeah.
As we've touched on before, I feel that this is getting a bit like IndyCar, where there's 2 races. There's the first set of laps where you just plod around, just trying to get position and things like that. And then there's the race itself, which is the 15 to 20 laps from the end.
Yeah.
Hamilton's saying it's hard to follow here.
Well, I'm not surprised. Where is he? Struggling behind Verstappen. But we have seen that in the previous few Grand Prix. Just a question there, Megan. Dad's right. 15 to 20 laps towards the end, we have a quicker run. Back to Megan.
Also, it's quite a hilly area.
2 seconds, look at this. This is Carlos Sainz trying to go right round the outside of Norris into Tamburello, and Sainz goes through. So Norris had zero defence there. That was quite a good move. Norris is back in the track, though, coming into Villeneuve. He'll try and have the inside line into Toza. No, look there.
You can see quite a lot of this track is downhill, so that's quite difficult for the drivers, especially since they're going downhill and they have to brake. That's why it's tyre sensitive for the tyres, because they're putting strain on it.
Magnussen is making some inway towards the back of that train, but
Stroll's the furthest back.
He's still got a long way to go.
Stroll is definitely race control, presumably incident involving Magnussen and Vettel under investigation, causing a collision. So Vettel ahead of Magnussen, so this could be an interesting factor to watch forward going into this Grand Prix. Russell's up to 13th. It says Gwenwyn on the group chat. Hello, everybody who's watching along with us. I do agree. Yeah, look at that. Russell up to 13th place. Started and continuing to hold his place. Good job. This Williams seeming to suit the track. Of course, as Williams come back here. They're actually very successful at this track. So are Ferrari, so are actually McLaren. They're the three sort of ones in that era, the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s, that were the three dominant teams. Perez on board, trying to catch the back of Norris into Tamburello. Very much late on the brakes. Now, there's only one DRS detection point here, as my laptop's covering the track map. But it's down at the start-finish straight towards turn 2, because turn 1 is literally the little kink you saw at the start of the race. 2 meters difference.
We have a track map.
Yeah, behind there.
Yeah, several track maps. We've got a problem with your headset here. There we go.
So
try now.
We have a problem. Houston, we have a problem.
Right, Megan.
It's lap 7 of 63, and Bottas is still leading and has the fastest lap of the race, which, to be honest, is impressive given how Lewis should
catch up and easily pass. Yeah, you said earlier.
He shouldn't be that far behind and that cautious.
Stroll, Gwenry's just pointed out Stroll, and I've had a look. Yes, you're right. 55 seconds. Stroll's back to Magnussen. Sorry, to the rest of the field. He's got 16 seconds to the back of Magnussen. So it's not looking good for Stroll. Bottas fastest lap of 1:19.417. So time's beginning to come down as these tyres begin to bed in on the track surface. It's now at 24 degrees.
Didn't we have a 1:15 yesterday?
Yeah, we had a 1:15 in qualifying. Did we have a 1:14 in qualifying?
1:19.
Yeah, so about 4 seconds. Yeah. They're going to take some time, isn't it? There, as you can see, the gap on your screen. Look, we've got now this, I'll just quickly explain. That is the interval between all of the drivers, and then we get the lap number and then the position. So the green numbers you're seeing on your screen on the watch along, that's the interval between the leader and the rest of the field. So that's the overall gap.
The interesting thing there is the gap between the leader and Stroll, who has made a pit stop, a lengthy pit stop, is less than a minute.
It is, yeah, isn't it? Where is it? 56 seconds, yeah. So it's a short pit lane here. They remodelled it back in 2007 when Formula One lost it.
He's been in and out, changed his wing and changed the tyres.
Yeah.
And he's only, 56 seconds behind the leader.
Oh, Gasly's retiring. Terminal issue for Pierre Gasly, and doesn't that just break your heart? Because Gasly did an absolute fantastic job in qualifying yesterday. Back to you.
On the grid, they had a problem. They took the just behind the airbox and where the protector is. What's the protector called?
The engine cover and the wheel nuts.
The thing that they put on.
I know what you mean. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah.
Megan, what's the name of that awful looking thing that's on the front of the cars now?
The halo.
The halo.
Oh, they had the halo off. Oh.
No, the two panels where the halo is fitted, they were in the engine there, and they had, which is obviously part of the air intake cooling system.
Yeah.
Right, and something was causing a problem there. And I think the car's just overheated. I think they were trying to solve a blockage. They had both sides off.
Yeah.
So it does sound like it's something to do with the air intake, and it's not getting enough air to the engine. And after 9 laps, you're about to blow, aren't you?
So Danny Kvyat, the only AlphaTauri left in what is effectively their home Grand Prix, as out of the race goes Pierre Gasly, our first retirement.
Pierre's had such a great weekend up to now.
He has, yeah. He's had a fantastic one.
He had a good practice yesterday. He had a good qualifying yesterday.
And with the Ayrton Senna tribute helmet, he's out of the race on the 10th lap. That's not great news at all. And I was so hoping he could fight for a podium today. But the top three of Bottas, Verstappen and Hamilton seem to be running away with it.
And it's something that should have been learnt before they got to the grid.
Yeah.
I want to know what's wrong with his car.
It must be engine. Something engine. You're not exactly the Honda's best supporter, are you? But
no.
It must be something engine.
As I say, they were in the air. They took the.
And Verstappen's being told that he's quicker in all corners on the track, which is even better news because Verstappen could actually win this Grand Prix. Vettel's right behind Giovinazzi as our picture seems to have had a little bit of a freeze moment. So no sign of anything else happening with the safety car.
What I love?
Grosjean pits. 2 seconds, sorry, Megan. Grosjean pits. So I've just noticed that.
The order I said yesterday for the top three is actually the order that's currently.
What is it?
Bottas, Verstappen,
Hamilton.
Is that the top three? Oh, yes, you're right. Bottas, Verstappen, Hamilton.
Then I said Ricciardo or Gasly or
Gasly's,
Albon.
Yeah, Gasly's out of it. Albon's P6. Ricciardo's up there. So far, Megan, your predictions from qualifying is actually looking okay and seemingly quite right. So
you've got to base predictions of previous wins and like strategy for
Lewis has obviously got a traction control problem as he left the grid, don't you think, Meg?
Yeah.
I think that's partly the reason, though. I think he's aware that he needs to just like increase his track thing, and he was trying to be cautious with it because he didn't want to get caught up in a racing incident around that really tight first corner.
Tamburello. Which I've been saying perfectly all weekend. I've been stumbling over so far today. Tamburello, yeah. Norris is under pressure from the back of Sergio Perez coming into Tamburello chicane. Now, interesting to note as well that whoever gets first, second or third and the winning constructor today will have a very special quarter-inch diamond on their trophy in the exact position on the track, because it's a model of the track, and there's a diamond at the exact point where Senna crashed. So it's a nice little touch there as they remember.
Where is Ratzenberger?
I don't think there is one for Ratzenberger.
Who came from round here? Was it
Gasly? Gasly's 20 minutes away.
No, I'm talking about artists. It's a Renaissance artist area, isn't it? They've got lovely architecture around there. Rossi came from round here.
Rossi came, yeah. Emilia Romagna.
6.
So Bottas pitting 6 laps earlier than we predicted.
Target -6. I feel like that would be something around lap 35 -6, or maybe 29.
29 laps. Go to you.
Something I've found out is that if you're thinking you're getting better pictures from the helicopter, it's because it's the Italian authorities have said because there's nobody in the stands, right? The helicopter can fly closer towards the stand areas, so you're able to get better shots of the thing. I've always thought in modern day that we could also use a drone, but apparently the drone and the helicopter aren't allowed to be in the same area. So
drone can't be in the same area, which is a shame. Russell pits, by the way. Hamilton's on the radio. Just listen to Megan, what you were saying already. He's only done 14 laps on those tyres plus the two in quali. Right front doesn't feel good already. So Hamilton in trouble.
Wait, right front?
Yeah.
Do you mean the side where he accidentally clipped a bit of Gasly?
Good point, yeah. Same part of the track. Russell's pitted, put it on the hard tyres. Grosjean pitted just a lap ago, put on hards. And Giovinazzi...
right rear.
Yeah, Giovinazzi's put mediums on, by the way. So there's the current tyre updates for you. Bottas leads from Verstappen and Hamilton, from Ricciardo and Leclerc, top 5 at the moment.
One of the things is that... it's autumn, so the leaves are falling, as we saw earlier.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they've swept the track, and it surprises me that some of the runoff areas, the trees are looking pretty good there, actually.
For what is it now? Nearly winter.
It is November the 1st.
They're looking quite good. I'm quite impressed with the overall feel of it. So, yeah, very much liking the overall stature of this Grand Prix. Bring it back permanently, although we may not be seeing a lot of overtaking at the moment, but tyres is going to come into play and add to that as well. It looks like we're going to have a lot of issues with overall pushing of the overall results of the race.
As long as you're not too far behind, you're never out of it in this Grand Prix. It's always been the case. There's such as the first person that asked us a question, right? Who's now saying Lewis is complaining. It's true. Safety cars are usual at this Grand Prix.
Yeah.
When the other formulas come here, there's usually 2 or 3 safety cars.
Usually around about 2 or 3. Yeah, the most we've ever had here is 3. And that was in the, I don't want to say 94, was it? When was it?
It probably was.
And I
94
agree
was horrible.
that we should have 3
98.
Italian races.
Is that what was... the great win saying on the chat. Yeah, let's have 3 Italian races. Well, I don't see why not. I love Mugello, and I'm loving Imola being back. And Monza was good.
Don't we go there in
Monza was
MotoGP?
Mugello, yeah. Yeah.
We go to Mugello in MotoGP, but haven't we been here in MotoGP?
No, they never won a race here.
When was the last time we never had a race here?
Not MotoGP. I think I've had one race here, but they always go to Misano.
Because I was just thinking, that this it would be a killer in MotoGP.
It would, yeah.
The closeness of these walls.
Leclerc in, Norris in, Ocon in, all I believe going onto the hard compound tyre. Yeah, I think they are actually hard. Leclerc goes hard, Norris goes medium. Ocon goes, I believe we saw him on the hards. So the tyre's changing already here in the Grand Prix. As Bottas leads from Verstappen, Hamilton, Ricciardo, Albon, top 5 at the moment. So exactly what Megan predicted. Bar Gasly dropping out of the race. So that's your fault. So Megan's crunching the numbers of what's more thinking, I believe. There's a calculator somewhere over there in your corner.
I'll just do it without. I'm quite good at mental math.
Verstappen crosses the line again, does a 1:19.067. So the time's beginning to improve. So Bottas leads the race, but it's Verstappen with the overall fastest lap. As you can see, as Red Bull responding, this must be for Albon to come in. And Ricciardo pits, Albon pits, Kvyat pits. So 4, 5 and 6 all come into the pit lane. And that was needed and definitely going to happen. So, Ricciardo, I believe, hard tyre. Ocon, hard tyre. Very late in for Kvyat as he switches to the hards as well. It was a slow stop. And now that means that Ricciardo definitely has jumped Albon and Kvyat's dropped down to 11th place. So not a great pit stop as they come out onto the old pit exit and the old start-finish straight before they have to move everything back. Through goes Leclerc and Vettel goes up as well. So they've all changed positions with Sainz now 4th from Perez from Vettel. Not exactly the greatest or smoothest starts. But who's next?
What? I'm just thinking, Kvyat. Wasn't there an incident with his brother-in-law at this track?
Kvyat?
Yeah, Mr.
Nelson
Piquet Jr.
I'm not sure he raced at this track. Oh, sorry, Leclerc locks up
I've
going
got a
into
feeling he
Toza.
did.
Oh, GP2 he only raced here because he was in 2006, yeah.
And there was an incident, wasn't there?
I think there was something in the GP2 race, actually. No,
I think Johnny was saying.
I think it was something with Visa U. I know that UK ID and Christian Albers made contact on the 2006 opening lap because it ended up in a battle roll. Now, this was Leclerc at Toza, locking up and nearly running into the back of the Renault of Danny Ricciardo.
What about his father-in-law? He was renowned for his spectacular...
PK Senior.
PK Senior. Is there any incidents with him here?
Bound to do something here at Imola. Trying to have a think. I think he was the one who drove past Berger to begin with. Bottas
when Berger's car was destroyed by fire with Berger in it.
Yes, yeah. And they stopped the race there. That was at Tamburello.
And Megan said they should have thrown onions in the car.
We've got someone else walking into the back of the box.
Gherkins?
Well, I don't know what this is about. So, okay. Just getting some information for the back of the commentary box. Can we talk about the current race? We can't see what you remember seeing. Well, nothing's happening in the current race at the moment. We've got both commentators now deciding to have a little break. Bottas at the moment leading the race 2.298 seconds. Verstappen is second with Hamilton in third. Now, I knew what was happening there, so I don't know why either of them sort of have gone away. But nothing's happening in the current race at the moment as I try and fix this microphone up because it's being a little bit of a pain. But at the moment then here in this Grand Prix, it is the Emilia-Romagna race and nobody pitting yet, not even Bottas, Megan.
Right, so it's lap 17 of 63 laps. And Bottas is doing quite well so far, and Verstappen's not far behind, though Hamilton has certainly backing off.
Yeah, where is he? Yeah, where is he now down to?
the gap between him and Bottas are like
3 seconds.
3.7.
The gap between Verstappen and Hamilton is 1.4 seconds as well. So you can see that on your monitor. It's actually 4 seconds now, Megan, as you say. It's just changed over at the moment. As Bottas waiting for a pit stop opportunity to come in. He said that his tyres were having a little bit of an issue, but we'll just have to wait and see, and hopefully, Dad, that we'll see one of them come in.
Yep, definitely. It's the strategy at this one. There's no history.
Yeah, they've got nothing on these Pirelli tyres.
They don't actually know. They're just trying to work it out as they go along. They only had one qualifying and one practice session on these tyres at this track. So it's all to do with the data that they're getting off the tyres.
And this is a move into Tamburello. Kvyat throws it up the inside of Albon. Albon shuts the door on him and nearly takes off the front wing of Danny Kvyat there. That was almost beyond collision and beyond drama. So, Megan, what do you think of that just quickly? Look, Kvyat lunges up the inside, touches the back. Albon was already turning in. How do you read that one? Luckily, there's no damage and no puncture, and the front wings managed to stay on. But how do you read that one?
I think that's going to be bad for the...
Albon or Kvyat?
Both of them, really, because it's, really close.
Sainz pits. He's just put on a new set of medium compounds. He started the race on the softs. So that's going to be interesting. He does have a set of hard tyres left. Everybody has a set of hard tyres left. But that has dropped Sainz behind this battle, leading with Ricciardo. And then we get Leclerc. And now Albon's gone through. And Kvyat dives up the inside of Sainz into Tamburello and gets through. So Sainz drops way back.
May I just say, I agree. How the hell did Ricciardo end up 10th? He was 4th when I literally left with 2 seconds.
Kvyat's been...
He had a pit stop.
Yeah, Ricciardo's pitted. He's done 3 laps on hards. And now into the pit lane comes Verstappen. So Red Bull now responding with Verstappen. 19 laps is all those mediums could do. But they've done a total of that in the race so far. Hards going on then. 4 brand new hard tyres as well for Verstappen. He should be good to the end of the race. But as Megan said yesterday, it could be a 2-stopper of a Grand Prix, depending on safety car outage. So now, Hamilton's 4.3 seconds behind Bottas. Who they're going to pit first? Predictably, they'll have to pit Bottas first, as he's the lead Mercedes, and surely he gets preferential treatment for leading the race. So that's going to be something to watch out for in just a few seconds' time. Ricciardo looking quick. 19 left.
So if you're one of the people listening to us who's just said, how did Ricciardo end up 10th? Don't look away, like Megan did at all, because
we're in the pit stop phase of the race now. Hamilton's being told, "Don't pit me, I'm making up time." So they're going to pit Bottas first, or the team going to override him and bring him in anyway. That's an entirely possible thing to happen. We're going to see now. And into the pit lane. I think this is Bottas. No, it's Bottas. Bottas pits.
You can tell by the helmet.
Yeah, it's well, I can't these days. So Lewis Hamilton takes the lead of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix here at Imola. Bottas pits from the lead, puts on a set of hard tyres. It's not a smooth stop, 2.4 seconds, but it was dodgy at the back. So Hamilton leads. But Bottas has got 24 seconds to Verstappen. The average pit loss here is 27 seconds. Verstappen coming out now of the last 2 corners, crossing the line. Is he going to come across Bottas first? No, Bottas keeps out ahead, but now Verstappen has much fresher tyres compared to Bottas because they've heated up for a lap.
May I just say, they're listening to the race, not watching it, so that's why. And
I didn't
explain it because I didn't even know.
Well, thank you very much for listening to the radio coverage. Thank you for listening to the radio coverage. We'll give this as much as we can detail for you. So Hamilton leads the race, 23 seconds. He has to Bottas. The average pit loss, as we said, was 27. So Hamilton says that the tyres are becoming his own now. The question is, how long can he stay out? As he reported earlier on in the race, he's got wear on the front right tyre. That's going to be the interesting part.
The obvious thing is till lap 32, 33.
I don't think he can last on that long.
I don't think he can last on them.
That's past half distance, Hamilton.
Oh, Hamilton's not going to be able to manage
25,
that long.
26 is my guess.
He's gone through again just to start the next lap of 21.
I'm going to say 31.
Yeah, so Hamilton's gone through already to start the 21st lap.
It's whether or not Bottas starts catching him on these new tyres.
Yeah, hard tyres compared to Hamilton's very old mediums.
You can see on Hamilton's tyres that they were already worn.
Yeah, I think he had a lock-up in qualifying, then he locked up at the start of the race, as you said. Bottas did, however, lock up on the formation lap.
What Lewis is saying, though, is that the tyres, although they're coming to the end of their life, they're actually giving enough at the moment. So it's worth trying to take out a bit more so that you might actually jump Bottas.
Hamilton's tyres have done 23 laps, including those from qualifying, and they are going to start to wear at the moment, and he hasn't pitted yet. Haven't pitted yet is Hamilton, Perez, Vettel, Raikkonen, Latifi and Magnussen. They have not stopped yet. Magnussen
so how did it work
round.
Yesterday with only how did you go on qualifying? Did you get a free set of tyres to do whatever you want with?
They got the Q3 set of tyres as per usual, but they had to give 3 sets of the 8 tyres they got back at the end of free practice 1.
So you could give you the set back that you'd use. You could retain the set that you
in
Q3.
The least. Yes, yes, exactly. So they have all got a very new set of softs left if they had it in Q1.
Do you know how far these tyres can go?
Yeah.
Lewis sets a fastest lap of a 1:18.416.
So he's obviously fast enough on those tyres for now. So that puts that situation to bed. So maybe he can make it to lap 32 of the race.
We need to know 2 things like here.
Yeah.
Is that how far can these tyres go on a reasonably good time per lap, and secondly, Bottas.
Bottas is.
Yes.
So just 2 seconds.
I just saw it flapping. Did you?
Yeah, hang on, just because our radio listeners can't hear the team radio. Bottas has just been told he's got 24.7 seconds to Hamilton, but there is damage on the floor. So Bottas has got damage on the floor of his car.
2.4 seconds to Hamilton, safety.
Yeah.
In other words, Hamilton can come in and do his pit and end up 2.5 seconds behind.
Yeah.
I don't think that's right. I don't think that is.
Bottas did lead the race to begin with.
Yeah, he did. I know that, but
it's not really.
Lewis has just put in 3 fast laps, and there's another one.
Yeah, 1:18.367. As we start the 23rd of 63 laps, 24.7. You can see on your timing screen just alongside Megan's head exactly what the gap is between them. So keep an eye on that.
My guess is that Lewis will come out on his gearbox.
Yeah, it's got to. This is interesting, and he's still going round. I'm looking at the gap. Is it decreasing or increasing? Verstappen is hounding the back of Bottas like absolute crazy. He is not letting him go at the moment. Megan's noticed something on the timing monitor. We'll throw it to her when she's ready.
I've noticed something on.
I'll go to you then.
On Spice Boys.
Christian Horner is.
Old Spice has got the same watch on as Martin has this weekend. So, where did they get that? Together.
Same shop.
Hugo Boss. It's a Hugo Boss watch.
Is it Hugo Boss
right.
one?
Yeah.
So Bottas is decreasing in speed since he's losing time to
25.2.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
In the last 30 seconds, it's gone down about 0.8.
Sorry, I've pressed the wrong button, but I'm just pointing to Megan, having a look at the sector speed trap, which is what Hamilton's doing 226 kph. Bottas is 221, Verstappen 223. So Verstappen's a lot faster in the first sector, and it's the same in the second sector as well. Bottas 3 kilometers an hour slower at each point of the track.
You can see compared to both Bottas and Hamilton as well that Verstappen's getting faster while Bottas is decreasing in speed, and you can see the gap between Hamilton and Verstappen
is closing. 1.3 seconds at the last lap. So it's beginning to close down again.
Verstappen's only 0.974 quicker.
Where I was going for with the watch, right, is it something that they both had won in World Endurance?
Possibly.
Maybe.
Because
Hugo Boss.
Yes, but Rolex are one of them. Yeah. I'll have a look into that post-race, actually, and get back to you in the race review.
It's just a bit of fashion thing.
Yeah, it's nice. Hamilton now, as somebody just pointed out.
I'm heavily into fashion. This is the 3rd day running. I've worn my. In Grimsby, they call these fisherman jumpers.
Verstappen's getting angry on the race.
They keep you warm in the cold. Got a different one underneath.
Verstappen's getting angry on the radio. He's saying, for God's sake, let me get closer. He's just not getting closer at the moment overall.
Well, the thing about that is Bottas and him are on the hard tyres now. The medium is faster than the hard tyres.
Yeah.
And that's why you should just think about it.
But the Hamilton's tyres are older and older and older going forward. Megan is...
Yeah, but they're still lapping faster than them and them on the new hards.
Right, so the gap between Hamilton and Bottas is now at 26.351, which, to be honest, is slowly increasing.
Hamilton's on the radio. Hamilton just said, Bono's just said on the radio, Lewis, box this lap. We're going to catch traffic. We'll stay out much longer. And he says, nope, don't care. So Bono's just going, okay, keep doing what you're doing. So Hamilton's still going out further, and he's not going to pull in at any point.
That's because Hamilton knows he's got an advantage to Bottas. And
Andreas said he's pulled out 1.3 seconds.
Yeah, he did. He's now up. Look at that. He's got 20. So Hamilton now has that crucial 27-second gap to Verstappen, but he's only got 26 at the moment. To Bottas.
As I said, he'll come out on his gearbox.
Sainz looking to the inside of Danny Kvyat into Tamburello. It was a very long manoeuvre to even attempt it, so he backed off very early into the Villeneuve chicane next. It's very much a single file track, but there are a few overtaking opportunities that you need to start looking at, which is the crucial part.
Joshua, look straight at the camera.
Hamilton, 2 seconds. No.
Which one is it?
So, Hamilton's being told, box this lap. Hamilton saying, no, I can go longer. And
Bono is crucifying himself.
Yeah, Peter Bonington's on the radio, not looking happy, is he? I've never seen Bono looking this mad.
Bono trying to work out, why are you doing this to me?
That's because he knows he has an advantage to Bottas, given that...
Yeah, and he knows these hard tyres aren't working like they thought they would.
Yeah, though, if he can go a bit longer on them, then he can get even more of a gap between him and Bottas.
What if Lewis puts mediums on to the end of the race?
It's a risk. He'll last, but it's a risk. Well, it's not really a risk. It's a safe call, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, hang on. He can't. So, got a question. He can't put mediums on. You've still got to run the two different tyres. So he has to put the hards on.
That's true. That stupid rule's still there.
Yeah, I know. It's not really good, is it? But
when you come towards the light, Joshua.
Yeah.
Right. Ask the listeners. How can they see? Ask the YouTube people who are looking. Which Formula One world champion does Joshua look like?
I don't know.
Raikkonen.
Do I? Okay, I'll take that. I've got a few more words thinking me Raikkonen, to be fair. I think I have to be in my job.
Not Raikkonen, sorry, Hakkinen.
Oh, okay, I'll take Hakkinen. Megan's going to pick up on that.
It's not Raikkonen, I was thinking of Hakkinen.
That was your championship.
99, yeah.
99.
Just coming across here, I can see why now. You've got me thinking about it.
Yeah, either that or the pianist from ABBA.
Gabby? Where did I go with that one?
Where's Gabby?
I meant Hamilton.
Who's Gabby?
I meant Hamilton, Bottas and Verstappen. I've just combined all their names for some reason. Hamilton, I've got 26.3 seconds now to Bottas, and it's 28 seconds to Verstappen.
And it's purple in sector 1.
Yeah, you're right. What's the gap? 24.841. So time's beginning to improve there as well. As it's the gap now, 2.3 seconds as well. It's getting very, very close.
The thing about this is nobody's got any data. And Lewis is a genius.
Yeah, he's getting very close throughout the Grand Prix. 2 seconds.
That's why Verstappen's a genius as well, and he's just worked it out. That's why he's moaning.
Ricciardo now having a go on the outside of Magnussen. Pulls to the outside at Tamburello. That was a lovely position for an overtake. He had the slipstream all the way down the start-finish straight and got the move. But now Magnussen's falling back as he hasn't pitted yet. Leclerc looks to the inside into the Villeneuve chicane. Has to back out of it. Now pulls to the left-hand side. It becomes the outside into Toza. Magnussen forces him wide. Leclerc's going to send him round the outside though. Goes off the track almost. But that is a brilliant move for Leclerc. Has the inside line coming up towards Ravazza and pulls off the manoeuvre. Albon's in there as well. Magnussen goes deep. Albon cuts back, coming to Varianta. The two double left rights. Can he get through? No. Magnussen shuts the door. So Magnussen, who hasn't pitted, who held 7th place, has begun to drop down the order. Leclerc now comes into... Latifi's into 7th place. I don't think Latifi hasn't pitted yet. He's on the mediums. Great job from the Williams. He's come up without my noticing. But now Perez pits for the first time. That promotes Vettel up the order. But Magnussen's the one we're watching. He's falling back down the track. 26 lap old mediums. He's now starting to lose pressure. How is Hamilton, who's now beginning to lose time to Bottas, hoping? Now Kvyat's coming under pressure as well from Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris. Magnussen's filing into the pit lane. That's released the sort of traffic jam. Albon into the points. Sainz has got the DRS. Now tries to pull to the outside. Kvyat aggressively blocks the inside. Coming into Tamburello. So suddenly we cut back to the midfield, and what was a boring race out front, the midfield's come alive as the pit stop comes into play.
I haven't even noticed that Latifi's gone into 6th. I mean, that's the highest he's been, I think.
He has in this season so far, yeah. And I just
Joshua getting excited there, and I'm back at race control. Shutdown warning.
That's fine. Just keep going.
Right, back at race control. I bet you after that overtake by that Ferrari of Leclerc, right, Johnny Herbert is jumping up and down, moaning and shouting the odds, because I agree with you, Johnny, and I know what you say. I can't even hear you, and I know what you're saying back there, right? He overtook off the track, like Ricciardo did last season. Everybody complained about that then. He deliberately went off the track to overtake.
Yellow flags out on the track. Why?
I knew something was wrong.
Yellow flag out on the track.
It's Ocon.
It's Ocon. Ocon's out of the race.
I thought he was going slow.
Yeah.
Something very wrong. I have a problem on the radio. So it's clutch. It's clutch issue, and that is kicked out Esteban Ocon from this Grand Prix. If this causes at least a virtual safety car, as the car's now smoking. I think that's just the brakes, though. We can't see anything from the engine.
I noticed that he was going slow. Also, his tyres are wrecked.
Hamilton's just gone through. Hamilton, now, if we get a virtual safety car.
1:17 for Lewis, getting towards. I mean, you don't expect the qualifying times.
In the race.
Till the very last thing on the new tyres. But that's a great time there for Lewis.
That back right, the one that's smoking, is completely shredded.
And you're right. Yeah, so Ocon's rear right tyre, as Megan says, not exactly having the greatest. Now, they can't get to the car. It's at the top before the Varianta.
Are we looking at a free pit stop for Lewis?
Yeah.
With a safety car.
No sign of it coming out just yet, but we'll keep an eye out.
Lewis just went through?
I noticed that Ocon was going slow because, like, a couple of laps ago, he had a green and he had a purple in a sector. All of a sudden, he was going down.
Bottas, 17.5, 1 second safety. So Bottas now is only 1 second ahead of Hamilton, and Mercedes getting ready for a pit stop. VSC, virtual safety car.
That still is good.
Yeah, it's a virtual safety car that's being called here at the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, and that is exactly perfect timing for Hamilton. Where is he?
Here he goes.
Hamilton straight into the pit lane. Only 17 seconds lost during a virtual safety car. Mercedes have timed that perfectly. Look, he's just gifting it to them at the moment. Hamilton comes in, puts on the brand new set of hard tyres. The front left doesn't go on smoothly, but the VSC is ending already.
I just saw something fall on the side of his car.
Yeah, something came off the rear right.
Something just probably just something brake duct something or other. We'll keep an eye on that. We've gone green.
The track is clear.
So the virtual safety car is over. The green flag's coming in. But the question is, does Hamilton keep the lead away from Valtteri? Yes, he does, I think. What's the gap? 4.4.
Lewis, free pit stop. And he obviously gets past the Haas.
It's Magnussen, the lap car.
Magnussen, which has been lapped. He unlapped himself for exactly 1.5 seconds there. But great from Lewis and great from the team. The strategy was completely right. Lewis kept saying no, 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 no. And the luck was with him. Safety car. Lewis now has made his pit stop and has a 3-second gap to Bottas.
Perfect timing, perfect. And suddenly, this entire Grand Prix has become excited.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely genius.
We're at half distance of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix here at Imola. And after not a very exciting first half, the midfield has come alive and the front battles come alive now. This is what we mean, that Imola delivers great races in unpredictable times.
And you know it's coming alive because both my children are now standing above me.
I always stand up, and Megan's just having to look at the timing screen, so Megan's clearly getting very into this Grand Prix.
I'm getting worried.
Why? What have you spotted?
I'm getting worried about, like, the McLarens a bit. No, it's nothing to worry about. It's still safe and going a bit slow.
I must tell the listeners and the viewers that a few years ago when Lewis was having trouble, she knew 3 laps before they did.
Yeah, so Megan's very good at spotting things on the timing monitor. Just to confirm, you can see on your screens as well, 4.2 seconds now Hamilton has over Bottas as well. So that is becoming a factor in this race. Bottas now gets past, I think that was Magnussen. Yeah, Verstappen now coming to play, gets out of the way. So it's coming alive, this Grand Prix, Megan.
It was 2 laps, wasn't it? Before 2 laps before Mercedes knew there was something wrong, and she knew there was just a little drop in the sector times for Lewis. And by the time they picked up on it, she had already picked up on it. Do you remember, Meg?
Yeah,
that was Germany a couple of years ago. Sorry, say again?
Ricciardo's going slow.
A bit louder, don't mumble.
Ricciardo's going slow. He's like going down. He's nearly 5 seconds behind it's Perez, and also all his sector times are yellow.
We'll keep an eye out then what's happening with Ricciardo. We'll highlight him as well.
He did have a bit of a problem earlier on.
Leclerc's catching him as well, so Ricciardo is dropping. But Latifi hasn't pitted yet. Latifi's in 6th. He's done 31 laps on those tyres. I don't know how that's right. Maybe the graphics frozen. What's this one saying? No, this one's saying 31 as well, but 1 lap 33. So we'll keep an eye on what the graphics say. But Hamilton...
Maybe he pitted and we don't know.
No, he hasn't pitted. The computer would have said no pit stop for Vettel, no pit stop for Raikkonen or Latifi, and they're the only 3 not to pit in this Grand Prix. So 4, 5, 6 have not pitted: Vettel, Raikkonen and Latifi. Sainz closing on the back of Kvyat now. They have had their pit stop and it's beginning to close up. This race is coming alive in the second half.
Yeah, it's coming alive at the halfway point, which is unusual.
Yeah, as you say, it usually comes alive around about 20 laps to go, as we saw.
Maybe they're listening to us and they just decided, we will show them. Come on, let's go.
And this is the battle for 11th. Sainz is big, far back.
That was Kvyat, by the way, the impression.
I'm not sure why we're watching this battle, because Kvyat and Sainz separated around about 1.4 seconds. It's not the closest on the track. I'd rather cut to Bottas and Verstappen, who's separated by 1.1 second, and that is closing in. As you can see on your screen as well, that is the gap to the leader you're looking at on your timing monitors that we display for you here. We don't have the interval, unfortunately, so we have to tell you the interval manually because we haven't got the graphics right yet.
Change of subject, right? Because we just had been talking about Kvyat and things like that. Looks like Kvyat won't be here next season.
Yes, that's bad.
Dr. Marco is all but confirmed that Tsunoda will be in that position alongside Gasly.
Which I don't agree with, because I think Tsunoda's a very good driver, but I think Kvyat's come back to Formula 1 a lot more alive, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Honda's still there for 18 months, and they're desperate to get a Japanese driver back in
for one season. I see your point there. Maybe Kvyat might come back for a 4th time. Just to get confirmation from Renault, it was a suspension and gearbox failure that's put him out of the race. So maybe you were right with what you spotted, Megan, with the fact that there was a problem. Off goes Verstappen at the second downhill section.
That was just a braking problem, wasn't it? He
overbraked. Into the Aragorabaka corners, and this is the top of Aravieta.
I was right.
Yeah.
The McLarens aren't going fast enough.
Why? What's Megan's spot on the screen?
I knew I spotted something.
Well, 2 seconds. As we'll just see again, downhill section into the bottom half of the track at this is Aquafibiano, isn't it? Off the track at 10:13, and Verstappen just catching the front of the brake too much and losing the rear of the car.
They're both going 220. Everyone else is going higher than that, at least by a bit.
Really?
They're both going 220.
Thank you, Megan. Megan's very good at spotting things on the timing monitor, so we'll keep an eye on the McLarens as well.
Both of them are going that.
Sorry, 2 seconds back again.
They're in 12th and 13th positions.
Yeah, the fact that both of them are doing that at the same speed is a bit worrying.
I agree. It's a bit worrying that they're in both the same mode, it seems. So we'll keep an eye on that going forward.
Well, I hope it's not an ECU problem, because McLaren actually make them for everybody.
Yeah. Oh, Latifi finally comes into the pit lane. Latifi's just flashed up on the monitors coming in. So Perez now promoted up the order. But how much is Latifi going to lose? 27-second the difference. Yeah, he'll drop down, won't he? Right down the order. Oh, no. Well, there he is. I think Kvyat might just get past him.
Oh. Oh, Kvyat.
Yeah, Latifi's going to drop right back down the order, and that's such a bad feeling as Williams looking good. But watch out for George Russell, who's now coming into 13th place, and Latifi's 14th. Nope, 15th. Giovinazzi's got ahead. Here comes Hamilton to start lap 36 of the Grand Prix.
He's got the speed to get back up.
Lewis has got a 6-second gap now.
And Bottas is having to hold off Verstappen, who's got 1.044 in total.
Can you imagine what would happen if Bottas and Verstappen took each other off?
Oh,
right.
Ferrari will be having, and Alfa will be having nightmares.
Yeah, because Ferrari have got Vettel in 4th place. He hasn't pitted yet, has he?
No, you're right. Hasn't pitted yet.
Yeah.
So we'll keep an eye on that.
It's just unusual to see him in 4th.
We'll keep an eye on that going forward, exactly why Vettel has decided to go this long. Let's hear from Verstappen first of all. Oh. Verstappen has just been told on the radio that his engine's cutting out a little bit.
It's not affecting his speed.
No, but is that what caused the problem down at this section of the track where he ran off just a couple of laps ago?
Both Nico and Lewis, about 4 years ago, had one spark plug problem. One 60p spark plug, right, which is cost price.
And it cost,
right, and it cost them, all those points.
And Ferrari had it as well. I can't remember which track. I think it was Malaysia 2017. Had exactly the same problem.
Damon always tells the story. He had a spark plug problem.
Oh dear.
But he said, are we off YouTube?
No, we're still broadcasting. Go.
Right, Damon tells this story about, and I remember the race where
Verstappen's catching up with Bottas.
Sorry to cut across you. You're right there. Bottas has just had a major error coming into the last corner in the sector, and that's given Verstappen the DRS advantage. He's now coming up close behind him into turn 4 and 5 into Tosa, and Bottas now having to really having to defend as Verstappen's right on the back. Good spot there, Megan.
Yeah, as I was saying, Damon tells the story of the spark plug. Obviously, he tells his story about the spark plug because it's quite common, and that's why Verstappen's got this sort of problem. Yeah, well, we know that Valtteri's got underfloor damage,
and he's locked up coming in.
He's locking up because he's not getting the right downforce.
Down into the last corner, locked up, ran into the gravel trap just a little bit.
What he's doing actually is keeping Verstappen way behind Lewis.
Yes.
That bottom right tyre as well, for when he had trouble with, it's not going correctly.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Damon had it even worse because he lost the Grand Prix.
So the aero damage has been there since lap 2, and it's pretty significant. Bottas asking how did it happen. I think it's debris from another car, probably around turn 7. Where is turn 7? That's at Tosa. So
that would have been the
Magnussen.
Merc.
Yeah, it was Magnussen.
Was it always Magnussen?
Yeah, it would have been.
When he
spun
Vettel
round.
When he turned round.
Yeah, so Bottas had damage from that running over on lap 2. So now we know that the Mercedes of Bottas has got very significant damage, and we know that Verstappen's engine's cutting out. I think it's just gifting Lewis Hamilton race number 93. This is getting very close now.
I'm just reading the things there.
Oh, right, yeah. We're just seeing now Verstappen's closing 0.7 seconds away.
He's not pitted.
He has pitted now.
He has now.
He has now.
That was a couple of laps ago.
Yeah, can I finish the Damon story?
Quickly.
Sure.
Millions and millions of pounds are spent to get 10th of the second or 100th of the second in Formula 1. And sometimes the most innocent things fail. Damon lost a Grand Prix in Europe. I can't remember which one it was. Was it Hungary? Because of a screw that was worth 3p.
Yes.
The screw
3p,
broke,
yeah.
and it loosened something on his car, which then rattled and then ended the race for him.
And into the last corner now again we go. Verstappen is in 1.3 seconds at the moment, and here we go. So now the problem is it took a lap for Verstappen to get back up to Bottas. But
I don't think he's close enough.
He's not. 1.3, less than a second now. Verstappen's not close enough with the battle with Bottas. So there's no point hyping it up at the current moment because we know that Bottas got a problem. We know that Verstappen's got a problem.
I'm more interested in the midfield and what's going on there since obviously I think there's a slight glitch in the
timing,
the McLaren area, so it's nothing to worry about that much. The Latifi's absolutely trying to dominate because he's going really fast.
Lighting up sector times in our timing monitors as well, which is absolutely fantastic. So we are watching the battle now. Bottas has had a slow second sector, and Verstappen's closed in now. The gap now 0.8 of a second, but either one of them making a mistake, suddenly they're through as they come up to the Aquafibiana corner, the chicane.
Yeah, the two Williams are doing quite well in that back section of the midfield.
Yeah, 13th for Russell, Latifi 15th. Right, here we go again then. DRS opportunity now as Bottas locks up again, coming into the last two corners, into turn 19. Now he locked up. He didn't go through the gravel trap this time, but it might have just given the advantage to Verstappen, who now activates the DRS. Although I think Bottas has hit the overtake button, but Verstappen's coming a little bit closer as we come into Tamburello. He's not going to make a lunge up the inside into the left-hander, and then the left again, downhill towards the Villeneuve chicane. Tozer would be the next opportunity into Villeneuve chicane. Bottas is smooth through there. Verstappen suffering with oversteer mid-corner as we come into Tozer, the uphill section of the track now as you climb up towards Ravazza, a blind crest uphill, and Bottas beginning to look in his mirrors as into the pit lane for the first time comes Vettel, and he's got a problem with the right rear, and he's got another problem with the left rear, and now the front right, all tyres not going on right, and this is hemorrhaging time for Vettel. The way he goes after a 13-second pit stop. Leclerc now goes in front, and it's now Raikkonen 4th, Perez 5th, Ricciardo 6th, Leclerc 7th, Albon 8th, Kvyat 9th, and Sainz down to 10th, Norris to 11th, and Vettel's dropped right down the order. Hamilton, lucky so far.
Hi, Robertson.
Hello. And, well, what's the gap now? Vettel's come out, actually. Russell's got through, and Giovinazzi's got through. So Vettel comes out in 14th place. He had a very slow pit exit. Latifi might just get him here.
Latifi's catching him.
Latifi's going to get him. Look, into Villeneuve chicane. I think Latifi might have the position into Tozer.
The difference in speed.
Yeah, it's unbelievable there.
Latifi's going fast.
No, nothing's happening into Tozer. I'm looking back.
These two in complete flow.
Yeah.
Do you know I can't read half of that?
I do apologise.
I can.
So,
only for my purpose.
Megan, talk us through this then. What happened on the front? Because look, the front left goes on okay. Then the rear left rear right doesn't go on. And the front left doesn't go on either. So massive problems.
There's a problem with the nut thing. We're going too slow.
Yeah, the gun and the nut cross-threading, and that's all out of it. Good night, Vienna. So the gap now between Bottas and Verstappen as we join on board at the top of Ravazza, dropping down towards the two parts of the track at the bottom of the hill. I've forgotten their names. Aquabiatas. I'm just hearing mode 18 for Verstappen.
Oh, mode 18.
And Verstappen saying that mode 18 is the worst ever.
Yeah, I agree with him.
And don't turn it over.
Got a point.
Yeah, don't turn it over. Just leave it where it is. So
I thought you couldn't change the modes.
You can change the engine mode, but you can't change up the overall power. You can put it basically into limp home mode or faster mode. 2 seconds. Right, here we are. Down the start-finish straight once again. Verstappen's 9/10 and has got DRS, but I don't think down this basically long straight with a few curves in it, bit similar to Baku, it's not going to be an opportunity into Tamburello.
Mode 18, though, is overtaking mode for the Red Bull, isn't it?
Yes.
And they're saying, why don't you keep it in overtaking mode the entire lap?
It would drain the battery so much.
I really thought that was outlawed.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye on that. Megan spotted something on the monitor.
Bottas is going incredibly slow compared. He may be going fast now. That's because he's a bit ahead. Though, if you look at the difference in time.
Yeah, the Bottas is slower quite a lot of the track. Yeah, he's compensating for that damaged aero.
Valtteri is a team man. The one thing you can say about Valtteri that you never ever say is not true is the fact that if he has a problem, he will hold the others up for Lewis.
Yeah, he would.
He is a team man.
Verstappen just went off.
He has that loyalty.
The top of Aquafibiana, Verstappen went a little bit too wide, and it's just gifted just a couple of hundredths to Bottas, who again locks up and goes into the gravel trap at the bottom of the hill into turn 18. Verstappen right on the back now as we start flying down the start-finish straight. Here we go again. Verstappen going to go for the move. Has the DRS opportunity. Bottas will have to defend. Coming into Tamburello. Bottas is sending Verstappen the long way round into Tamburello. Can he do it? A brilliant move round the outside outside. Verstappen takes second away from Bottas. Red Bull cheer that one. That was spectacular. But here comes the attack from Bottas, who almost sparks into the back of Verstappen. And now I think that frightened Bottas off. He's backed off coming into Tosa. Verstappen goes to second. Brilliant move.
It was a brilliant move, and it was coming a long time. I thought it wouldn't happen when he couldn't get it when he went off the track.
This is how it happened, though.
You watch this.
Through the gravel trap once again.
If you can't get him there, then I thought that was it. That was his chance. I didn't think he had the speed, but the DRS came open, and it helped him a lot.
Again, down at the turn 18 on the track once again. And Verstappen's radio saying nice job for that one. But yeah, it was again downhill at turn 18. Was again the problem for Bottas. Locked up the front left and straight off the track. Nothing he could do.
It was all that trying to compensate his speed.
All the gravel offline there.
And it isn't. Ryberson saying it isn't Bottas's day as well. I can just see on the group chat.
I really think that Bottas did a job there for the team. For about 5 or 6 laps, he was just holding up Verstappen, increasing Lewis's gap, which is now nearly 13 and a half seconds to Verstappen from Hamilton.
What did I say? They would pit around lap 33, and now it's lap 34.
44. Yeah, I know you get with the second stop. He said yesterday in qualifying. Yeah, so
another purple sector in sector 1 for Lewis.
Yeah, what is it? 24.553. He's
already got the fastest lap at the moment.
These cars will go a lot faster if they all decide to pit or someone crashes so they can pit.
You might have to speak a bit louder because
I want someone to crash so they can pit, preferably someone in the midfield because that will just create a backup.
God, this is why a certain person went to WEC.
Yeah. Position, just in there. Gwen was
by the way, it's nearly Christmas, Megan. Have you got his Christmas card ready?
Oh, Brendan Hartley's.
His wife wrote yours the other day.
Yeah, stay away from Brendan Hartley. If you don't know, Megan tired of cursing Brendan Hartley a couple of years ago. Every time she walked into the box,
I walked into the box the other day.
She's definitely not Brendan Hartley's lucky person.
No. Vettel has just passed Giovinazzi. We didn't see that on the cameras, unfortunately, but the timing monitor just updated. Hamilton, as you said, a fastest first sector. But now we're looking at Verstappen, who set the fastest third sector of all at 25.842. Megan?
May I just say, I talked about him one day, me and you. 10 hours later, he was fired.
Yes, he was. 10 hours later, he was fired from his Formula E team. But he did win the World Endurance Championship, and he weren't involved in that.
That's because
I do remember.
I walked in here, brake problems.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, as soon as she did look at the Le Mans 24 Hours this year, right?
Car 7 had a brake problem.
Brendan Hartley's car had a brake problem.
Right.
And she was sent out the room, weren't you, Meg?
So that couple of minutes of filling has enabled the midfield to, as Megan says, close back up. Leclerc, Albon, Kvyat, Sainz, and even adding Norris, all within a couple of seconds of each other. So that's the interesting party. For some reason, we're looking at Raikkonen and Perez at the moment in 4th and 5th. Don't know why we're fixating on this battle so much. Raikkonen hasn't pitted yet. He's the only one left on the grid who hasn't stopped. But Perez has. And Megan, you picked on something just a few minutes ago. You thought we were going to see a pit stop for Bottas. And Magnussen saying, I'm getting a massive headache from all these upshifts. It's like a kick in the head every time. So, Megan, that says to me that it's a clutch and gearbox problem that's just whacking the back of his head. Yeah, it's jolting massively.
As it connects back in, it's jolting backwards. Like that.
That's got to be painful, to be honest.
Oh, he's got a headrest.
I do think that Bottas is going to pit because
I know he's done say get on with it.
He has to... Obviously, he's had some... other car issues as well as some tyre issues because that last thing wasn't good for him. Hamilton and Verstappen is 0.103 faster in timing than
10th.
Hamilton.
So Verstappen's beginning to close that gap up, isn't he?
What's orange ball on me now?
Oh dear me, hang on a minute. Just Megan.
I'll just continue speaking.
Raikkonen
has gone 45 laps on his medium tyres, which, to be honest, is impressive with how they've been this year.
Massively impressive if you think about it.
She used to do that when she was little. If she wanted to talk to me and I wouldn't stop talking to her, she would just put her hand over my mouth and then
she still does.
I'd just touch hand with me tongue, and you, yeah.
Right, just 2 seconds.
Doesn't bother me anymore.
You're right with what you're saying.
That's why I don't do it anymore.
This is really starting to annoy me, the fact that we're fixating on Raikkonen and Perez.
Well, hang on a minute. Something's annoying Joshua. Laid back Joshua.
Raikkonen and Perez don't really need to be fixated on anymore. Because...
So, yeah, well, why we're fixating on Raikkonen and Perez, I don't know at the moment, because it's really starting to annoy me.
Calm down, both of you, and let's just...
They're way out of the lap to actually do anything or get into the podium, so I don't know why we're fixating on them.
I'm watching the battles. Bottas begins to close in on Verstappen, 5.8 seconds at the moment, and Verstappen is closing in on Hamilton.
I think you're forgetting where you are.
Imola.
Yeah.
Right? Raikkonen's a massively favourite in Imola.
Yeah.
And the rest of Italy, because he was a Ferrari driver for all those years. And that's why we seem to be concentrating on Raikkonen, who's having a good race for once.
Yeah, though, you should
He'll
really
drop down to about 12th when he pits, but...
You should really concentrate on the midfield, like Ricciardo all the way to Norris, because that's where they're all compact. And
here we are. We finally moved away from Perez, as you were saying. Raikkonen has, as you say, Dad, Raikkonen hasn't pitted yet. He will fall down behind into about 12th place behind this battle. Megan Magnussen's just coming on the radio. Let's have a listen. How bad are you feeling? Can you carry on, or do you want to retire? My job isn't... What's that? My job isn't it, but it's painful, man.
That's what his dad would say.
Yeah, so Magnussen's bucking up and going on.
You could when he made the first statement, right? Kevin's dad, who's a very famous
Jan Magnussen,
Jan Magnussen, he still races in WEC, doesn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
And things like that. He'd have gone, wimp. Get on with it, wimp.
Right, so Hamilton and Verstappen, still quite a good show from Verstappen because he's getting faster.
What's the gap now?
The gap right now
6 and
is
14. 2 seconds, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, we've cut back to this Perez and Raikkonen battle, which is really annoying me.
Oh my god!
Because, I honestly thought Kevin would carry on even if his arm was hanging off.
Yeah, Kevin would.
He's always been a stayer, hasn't he?
Magnussen would and is going to stay on for a lot longer. You can definitely tell that going forward. 15 laps to go.
Until the end of the season, at least.
Yeah, 15 laps to go. Well, good point. I wasn't going to bring that up. Fastest lap for Hamilton, Megan.
It's a 1:17.279, which, to be honest, is quite a good thing. I think it was like
second and a half off the qualifying time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Round about that, yeah. It's not bad.
And that's not bad, really, because the qualifying time is always faster because the fuel load is lighter.
We're coming to that end of the 15-lap race, as you said, Dad, over the last couple of races. This is where it becomes to get even more exciting. It's been a good race.
One of the reasons is the fact that
pits.
We don't refuel now, so they're all light on fuel when it comes to the last 15 laps. And most of them have got new tyres on by the time they come to the last 15 laps.
Yeah.
Because around about 20 laps to go, they all change tyres.
Megan's just said
this is a one-stop race.
Magnussen's out.
Perez has passed Raikkonen.
Raikkonen's into the pit lane, that's why. But Magnussen's retired from the race. That's why he's coming to the pit lane. I was wondering why he was taking so long actually down pit road. But he's obviously saying, that's it, it's too much. As Raikkonen puts on the soft compound tyre. So Raikkonen's going to be the one to watch now in the midfield battle, as you said. He's going to be running up with newer tyres in the last 15 laps.
I'm just going to move this heater a bit that way, because this leg's done.
Right.
Yeah, Dad's cooking underneath the desk, as you can see.
Right, so should we do a rundown in a sec of the 18? I'll start. First, we have Hamilton. Second, we have Verstappen. Third, Bottas. Fourth, Perez. Fifth, Ricciardo. Sixth, Leclerc. Seventh, Albon. Eighth, Kvyat. Ninth is Sainz. And coming in at 10th is Norris.
And we got Russell just outside in 11th place. Raikkonen's in 12th. Vettel 13th overall. Not a bad run. Giovinazzi 14th. Latifi drops down to 15th, but he's up 4 places where he started. Grosjean stays where he is in 16th. Stroll and Magnussen, early contact early on in the race has dropped them down to 17th and 18th. Ocon is out of the race, same as Gasly. Now we know that Magnussen is also retiring from the Grand Prix.
Magnussen and Stroll just couldn't keep up from the earlier on collisions in the race. They just never recovered from going down the order that far.
Can I ask you a question? What is Grosjean doing in the race at all?
Yeah.
He has done absolutely nothing in this race.
No, he's stayed in 16th place. You can see why Haas are both eager to change the driver lineup next year. Rumour is it's Mick Schumacher alongside Callum Ilott, although Robert Schwarzman might come in. Why? What's now?
What's the other guy?
Magnussen is officially retired.
Thank you, Megan.
Begins with an M. They're looking at him as well.
Beginning with an M? I'm not sure.
He
had
a few Formula 2 victories last year. I think it's
Mazepin. Nikita Mazepin. Thank you. Yeah.
Mazepin is one of the favourites to take that now.
I think we've got a yellow on the track somewhere. We have yellows out. We don't know why at the moment.
Right, who stopped?
Not sure, but there's a yellow out.
It's Verstappen. Verstappen has not...
And he's in the gravel with a puncture!
Puncture!
And it's at Tamburello.
Puncture for his right bottom tyre.
Very good, Megan, finding out.
Nice spot. That'll be a safety car. He's off and the tyre's blown. Something broke on the car, he's saying.
Suspension failure.
Suspension and puncture. And this is the problem with the gravel trap, just like at Mugello. It's into the gravel trap and it's out.
Oh, he was doing so well.
He could have caught Bottas.
He was actually catching up.
That's interesting.
That is destroyed.
It's actually blown the wheel off and it's now showing the brake dust rim. So safety car. And this is what we were saying. It changes the complexion of the race.
But bottom left isn't looking good either.
If I was Mercedes, I'd pit them both before they get the safety car. With the amount of gap they've got.
No, Hamilton's caught the safety car. It came out too late. He missed the pit entrance. Hamilton's going to have to continue.
Yeah, podium for Perez.
Bottas has now had the perfect thing. But yeah, Perez is now on course for a podium for a Racing Point.
Mercedes 1-2. And didn't I say they would
Mercedes 1-2-3, actually.
Oh, he's missed it. Hamilton's being told box. But it came out just before he got the opportunity. So he's been told keep to the data. So you were right, Dad. They should pit both the Mercedes before the safety car. Hamilton missed it because it got caught too late, and Bottas now gets a free pit stop. This is disaster for Lewis Hamilton, who's now caught the safety car. Bottas goes on to the set of tyres he did the Q3 run on, as you said earlier, much fresher, and now this changes the complexion of the race. Vettel is down the order, but that, a tyre failure for Max Verstappen into Tamburello, and out goes the Orange Lion. Well, that's it. This is how it's caused. So, Megan, talk us through it.
Right, so he catches a bit of the curb going...
Did he run over any debris, I wonder, from the Racing Point? Look, he just blows immediately.
Megan was right. It was the curb.
Yeah, even before he runs into the braking zone. The car's going straight. The rear left blows.
Oh, that one's not faring too good either. Yeah. It's literally got a hole in it. Maybe he did run over.
I wonder if you're right, and he ran over the Racing Point ring. I know I said it as well, but you said it as well. Leclerc's up to fourth. Ricciardo now the podium as Perez comes into the pit lane. Ricciardo goes to third. Albon fifth. Leclerc's... Well, let's reorganise that because they've all come into the pit lane. It's Ricciardo third from Leclerc. Albon, Norris, Perez now down to seventh. Kvyat and Sainz still pitting. Lewis has got to get... He's got 42 seconds. 37.7 now. He's losing time hand over fist. Lewis has got to get past the safety car and get through.
He can't. He's not allowed to get past the safety car.
Bottas is coming into Aquafibiana now. And now...
Lewis has got to stay out.
No, he's pitting.
Gone in. He's going to take it. He's going to make a chance.
Well, this is going to be a close one. 33 seconds, the gap between Hamilton and Bottas. Bottas can go much faster.
It's got to be an expert pit stop.
He's pitting along with Vettel.
Vettel into the pit lane as well. Ricciardo could end up second in this Grand Prix. Perfect pit stop from... No, it wasn't 3.4 seconds. It was a second slower. Compare that to Ferrari at 2.5. The gap now closing.
This is going to be very, very close.
Bottas is coming down now across the control line. I think he might have taken him. We're watching.
Lewis is out in front.
Where's Bottas? He's just coming across now. Hamilton crosses out. There's Bottas just at the exit. And does he get out and course ahead? He's closing. It's not over yet. Now it is. Hamilton gets out just ahead of Valtteri Bottas.
Nice one, Lewis.
The gap is 1.7 seconds. Mercedes do like to time it to perfection today.
Do you know what I missed? The days where Vettel was included in
Yes, because Vettel was now
Where's
black
the
down.
safety car? We should have a...
The safety car is just coming out of Tosa. So the safety car is just out of turn 6.
Hamilton.
Oh, Hamilton's being reminded when he came out of the pit lane to keep to the delta time at the exit. So
Look
that was
at
close.
Tyre. It's completely off.
Well, is this an off-board angle of Verstappen's accident? No, so look.
Right, so he hits the curve, though also I think he hit a bit of debris somewhere. Look
And
there.
as soon as he hits the brake as well, the rear tyre just gives up and spins him round. So that was a hard set of tyre.
Front right, the damage on the front right was during the spin.
Oh, look at that! It just exploded, didn't it?
Yeah, it's something.
That's on the track.
Imagine if there was a car behind him.
Yeah.
I reckon it had already picked up some debris and then worked its way down through the carcass of the tyre, and then I just exploded.
Oh! Oh! That's George Russell! And he's off, and he's crashed off down towards... is that Ravazza? Yeah, it's down the hill into Ravazza.
He's completely destroyed his front ring.
I think he's had a puncture. Because nothing on that screams to me
but
accident.
Nobody's had an accident that has left a load of stuff on the track.
His front tyre's gone.
This could be a long safety car.
He's crashed something off, Megan.
He's crashed into something massive and debris is covering the track. Oh, he's crashed into...
The pit board. Brake failure downhill.
There's 2 boards, so that means it started off early.
Oh, hello.
Oh.
The car downhill. Russell is
front
suspension failure.
Oh,
front
that was
left
lucky.
suspension or tyre.
And this
all
is
the cars
a bizarre
luckily
one.
avoided the massive piece of debris.
Oh, I can tell you what it was. Russell was warming his tyres, moving the car left to right just a little bit, and he he hits a bump. Look, just going downhill towards the aquafina. Look, he hits a bump. At the same time, he's pressed the accelerator and he's in the wall. Russell doesn't know what to say on the radio.
What we were saying, though, before at the start of the race and in qualifying yesterday, and everything else that we've done this weekend, the closeness of the walls here, and you can see some tyres there, but a lot of the walls are like that.
It's very close.
They're concrete with a catch fence.
Look at all that massive piece of debris.
Is it possible they might throw a red to clear it up?
It's possible because it's literally covering all the track. Look,
yeah, the track track's littered now at 2 parts of the track.
Not even the safety car can get past that.
And Racing Point getting ready for something in the back of the garage because they're starting to put all their equipment back on. Yeah, they must pit. No, they've already pitted Perez. They must be pitting Stroll. So what's happened to Stroll? Well, we're replaying Stroll into the pit box. Oh! Missed his brake bot and actually knocked over one of the mechanics who does a barrel roll. He's okay.
If you're going to knock over a mechanic, you don't knock over the guy with the lift.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, 10-pin bowling is not Lance Stroll his best opportunity. He's not having a good run of it recently, is he? 10 seconds it cost. I just want to talk. Riberson. I was about.
Oh, look at his foot.
Oh, it's run over. Yeah, it's not looking good. Hopefully he's okay though. He did roll over and get up straight away. So there's Riberson, by the way. I was just reading your comment. Russell is 11th place. Come on. I was about to say. George Russell is in 11th place. He's on the cusp of points.
Latifi's in 12th.
And honestly, I look up. 2 seconds,
defeated.
Megan. I look up from the monitor, and Russell's in the wall. So, Riberson, I'm costing you there. And Russell's angry. He's banging his fist against his leg. He is not happy.
He's not getting up. He
knew he could have been. Well, he would have been in the points because Stroll pitted. So,
what's he doing now?
Russell would have been in the pits. I think he's walking back now to the paddock.
That's unusual for George to be emotional because he's usually not an emotional person.
And Gwenwyn on the group chat as well mentions a good point. Imagine if you caught the safety car. That was very very close to catching the safety car as well. It was a downhill section of the track
as well. The driver hitting the safety car.
Well, we actually a few years ago we saw the medical car's door get ripped off.
Yeah. Raikkonen did it actually. Raikkonen did it.
Italian Grand Prix curse activated. Yes, right, so it is.
Yep. If we have a red flag now to clean the track, I'm not too sure. Right, now.
Well, is it guaranteed at least one big crash in Italian Grand Prix?
Right, here's the problem that we faced.
We've had 2 small crashes that look spectacular.
Yeah.
Here's the problem we faced at the Eiffel Grand Prix. The safety car's now bunched up the entire field, but it's got Kimi Raikkonen leading it. The race leader of Hamilton is in the middle of the plateau, so they're going to have to let all the cars go again.
And then in the last few races, the safety car has not let them rejoin at the back. 3/4 of the way around the track,
no
got in.
I'd just like to point out that they haven't actually at the moment started sweeping up Russell's accident. They've removed the car, but there's still a lot of debris on the track. We only have 8 laps left. There is a possibility.
They've got the Hoovers out. They're called Formula 1 cars, and they
they can't run. No, they can't. They can't run over. They can't run over the debris.
Well, they just have, and they're now clearing the ones.
Oh, that's going to get in there.
Puncture like mad. No, I would...
And by not clearing them all at the same time, it gives an advantage to the 2 that you've let go.
Personally, I would have called for a red flag at this point.
There's Kvyat going past now.
All the cars are now going through. Yeah, the safety car's now picked up Lewis Hamilton, as we now have to wait to see what's going to happen. Lapped cars may now overtake 6, 5, 18 and 6, say on the monitor. So 8 laps left. It's been a fun race, this one, says Gwen. I agree with you. This has been a great race. But now we go into the question is, what's going to happen? How quick can those lapped cars get to the back? Bert Mylander first drove a safety car here around Imola in 1999 for the Formula 3000 race. So his debut was, 4 days after I was born? In Formula 1. 11 days after I was born. There you go. There you go.
Oh, so he's just been your...
Only safety car. No, it couldn't have been. Yes, no,
yeah.
No. That was 43,000.
I can't tell you all if he was crying that day because when the race was on, we just ignored him.
Yeah, they did. I watched the races as well. So just like to point out, if you're just joining us here on YouTube, we're under the safety car on lap 56 of 63 here.
Hamilton has made its way up.
He literally used to go to sleep when he was about a year old and older. He wouldn't go to sleep unless a TV had a Formula 1 race on at the time.
You can tell I love Formula 1 and have done for years, can't you? Right, safety car's out, 56 and 63.
We tried everything, Noddy and everything.
Yeah.
But
only Formula 1 worked. That's Murray Walker's fault.
For me to get to sleep, you either had to put me in my Moses basket or Joshua have to sing to me.
I'm not singing again now. We'll get done. Right, let's run through the order, Megan. There's only 15 cars left. Hamilton leads from Bottas, Ricciardo, Leclerc, Albon, now the top 5.
We used to give Kelly
Right.
on a dummy.
2 seconds.
Right. Number 6 is Perez, 7th Kvyat, 8th Sainz, 9th Norris, and 10th is Raikkonen.
Giovinazzi 11th, Latifi 12th, Grosjean 13th, Vettel has dropped to 14th, exactly where he started. Stroll right at the back in 15th and is too far back. Look, half the field's still got to catch up. We're in for a very dramatic last couple of laps, but Ricciardo runs in 3rd, another podium on the way. Back to you.
The people out are Russell, Verstappen, Magnussen and Ocon.
Oh, thanks, Megs. I missed that bit. Thanks for catching me up on that one.
My turn anyway.
The thing is, it's going to take 2 more laps, so you're going to have a last 5-lap race.
Watch out, actually, for Ricciardo, 41 laps hards, Leclerc 42, Albon 41. They are on hards. Everyone behind them is on new softs. So can they hold on for their 3rd, 4th and 5th? Well, for Albon, this is surely... If Albon can nick a podium away from these two, that would be fantastic.
Don't forget Mashiri, yeah.
You've got to nick a podium or 2.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, what's
Ricciardo,
his name again?
Cyril Abiteboul, another tattoo.
Did he get a tattoo?
I don't think he's got it yet, but he might have to have 2 at this rate.
Going to have 2 shoes.
Yeah.
Danny Rick says it's a honey badger and it's about this big, but not saying where it's going.
What time is it now? It's 1:32 UK time. We have another 19... We've got another half hour to get this race done. And
it's only been on for 2 hours.
Yeah, it's 57 minutes this race so far. We've only been on air 1 hour 37.
Imola used to be one of the fastest Grand Prix.
Yeah, you can tell it's a very fast
San Marino
track,
Grand Prix was a very fast Grand Prix.
Less than 90 minutes in total. And now the safety...
Yeah, it usually lasts about 125.
So we've had a virtual safety car. Now we've had a full safety cars. That covers the 2 safety car periods you were on about.
Driver of the day, it's joint between Verstappen and Raikkonen for first, and Hamilton then at 12% for 3rd.
They only have 14 minutes left. Thank you for that, Gwenman. Yes, so we haven't got the clock countdown today, unfortunately, but we've got the lap count on the graphics.
Safety car in after this lap, giving them 5 laps to blow it.
Yep, safety car in this lap. So now
a 5 lap
race.
5 lap sprint.
This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Who's going to be your pick? Safety car lights are off at the top of Aqua Fabiana, and now the Aravata chicane. Oh, the lights have come back on. That's interesting. The lights were turned off, and now they've come back on. So the safety car is definitely in this lap, isn't it, Megan? According to my monitor, it is.
They should be in.
So we're coming to the end of the safety car here for the Grand Prix. We're coming to the green. Lewis Hamilton will control the field. Now we have a similar situation going on. We can't overtake until the start-finish line, so Hamilton has to back up the entire field again, and just like in Mugello, it's a long start-finish straight, so this is going to be good. The green flag is out, the race is back underway. Hamilton lights it up, but Bottas nearly goes into the gravel trap. He didn't expect Lewis to go that quickly.
Remember, Lewis, he controls the getaway, and that Bottas has floor damage.
Yep, and now the race is underway once again. Look at Ricciardo. Sorry, cutting back. Albon's under pressure from Perez, and Kvyat as well is up there. Albon's really starting to drop back. The two on the soft tyres are fighting, and Kvyat's up to 5th place. He just made a fantastic manoeuvre into Tamburello, getting past Perez and Sainz. Now comes Sainz on the back of Perez. Sainz cuts back. Perez round the outside of Albon into the Villeneuve chicane and gets through. Spectacular manoeuvre.
Ow.
Albon gets collected. I think he caught the side of Perez, and round goes Albon. So again, Alexander Albon gets punted round in a pace where he could have got a podium. And now Kvyat hits the side of Leclerc. Kvyat, the angry Russian torpedo, torpedoes Leclerc at the top of Ravazza. And now he's up to 4th place, closing down on Ricciardo. And this is battle on. Now watch this, Megan. Albon puts his car in the middle of the track. Perez cuts him back, and then cutting back through. No, Albon lost under braking. Brilliant reactions from Carlos Sainz, who almost ran right into the side of him.
I don't really have a driver of the day, to be honest. Yeah, same.
Yeah, back to you, Dad.
Not Red Bull's day.
Well, a good restart by everybody. Albon there, completely cold tyres.
Yeah.
As soon as he braked, he lost it. And that won't do too good for Albon. Hopefully, Dr. Marco and Christian have been quite
close with Sainz.
Quite happier with his commitment this weekend. So hopefully that won't do any real damage.
Yeah, hopefully so. As we now see Grosjean's past Latifi for 11th and 12th. Perez is looking angry on those soft tyres. I said, watch out for those 3 on the hard compound tyres of Ricciardo, Leclerc and Albon. They were dropping back. Perez now looking to the inside, into the inside of Toza, trying to pass Leclerc, not working there. Kvyat setting off on Ricciardo, but Ricciardo has found an extra gear. He's holding off by a second. 1.2 seconds the gap between Ricciardo and Kvyat. Bottas closing in on Hamilton as well. This could be closing up for the end of the race. As we drop down the hill, Aquafibianas up now towards the Aravianta corner. Perez is closing. Leclerc had a little bit of oversteer, and now Perez might just get him downhill into the back half of the track.
4 laps left of this race, and to be honest, I think it's just going to get even more dramatic. We've got a battle for 5th between Leclerc and Perez, which to be honest is going to be interesting, since it's usually a Ferrari-dominated circuit, though they don't seem to be very dominating this time.
Talk about Perez, look, he's just alongside.
Fastest lap goes to Lewis Hamilton with a 1:16.644, and Perez is
That's only a second off the qualifying. That.
Not bad. Here comes...
Obviously, you don't getting down to the amount of fuel that you would have in qualifying now.
Perez wasn't close enough coming into Tamburello. Up now towards Villeneuve chicane. He's closing. This is an opportunity he likes to overtake. Albon's coming into the pit lane. Presumably this will be soft tyres and fastest lap at the end of the race.
Kvyat on podium, maybe. I don't know, maybe.
Could happen. Although I'm thinking that Ricciardo's looking quite good. He's pulled out a gap.
Happy with that.
Yes, or maybe another tattoo. 2 podiums for Ricciardo going to McLaren would be very fascinating. I'm
Will
sure.
that be 2 in a row?
No, he didn't get on the podium last time out in Portugal. He was on the podium last time out in
when I was
2 years ago, Eiffel. Yeah, the last time you were here.
Oh, I must be a lucky
in Eiffel. This is
Kvyat.
Kvyat. Now, this is Danny Kvyat at Toza launching up. I think this is how he got through a manoeuvre here on the Ferrari of Leclerc. Now, did he go all 4 wheels off the track? The stewards are investigating. No, he didn't. No. And Franz Tost is okay with that one. So Kvyat on the podium, started 8th, now 4th, closing down the back. 3 laps to go. It's rodeo at San Marino. No, that doesn't right. We're Emilia Romagna, aren't we? It used to be the San Marino Grand Prix. It's Emilia.
Still technically called that.
Yeah, you're right. Down now again. Here comes Perez with the DRS. Kvyat has the DRS, but Perez is closing on Leclerc. The 2 McLarens want to make a party, but look at this. Leclerc's having to defend from Perez into Tamburello. Not working this time out. Keep the 4 flat out. This is amazing. Bottas a 1:13.6 in Q3. That was the pole time. What about the Q1 time?
The same thing always happens though. If there's a safety car late on,
that's where Bottas
you manage to get your tyres done. You can forget everything that's happened previously in the race.
Yeah.
That's just qualifying for this last 5 lap sprint.
Yeah, the safety car coming out this late stage, just as you say, sets a grid for a rolling start. Back to Megan.
Right, so Latifi might score a point. Yeah, he might for once in Formula 1, and it's
is he?
Valtteri Bottas a 13.6 in Q3. Yeah, he did get that. I think that would be the proper time to beat.
I'm thinking my driver of the day might be Antonio Giovinazzi. Started 20th, now is into 10th and getting the points so far. He's had a fantastic run so far today.
Just tripped.
And look at that, fastest lap for Hamilton again. What was that? A 1:16, 6:03. Or is it 6:05? 3:05. Okay, I'll say that again. Lewis Hamilton, a 1:16.305 is the fastest lap of the race. Perez closing down Leclerc.
Says Valtteri Bottas.
Yeah, we covered that. Yeah, that was the qualifying time.
That's the time to beat.
Yeah. Look at this. Ricciardo's lost time to Kvyat. Open up that back door, won't you?
What?
Open up that back door. It's very hot in here, isn't it, at the moment?
That's not that.
Okay. At the moment, we've got Perez now closing down on the back of Leclerc as well. And Leclerc's really getting in trouble now as the battle goes on. Here comes Kvyat. Kvyat looking good. Now, Megan, just put your heads back on quickly. Do you think Kvyat can get ahead of the podium?
I think that it's a possibility that he could get a podium.
Yeah, it's possible. We'll keep an eye out. What's the gap? 1 point... Well, it's actually 9/10. Correct me if I'm wrong. Megan, with your math, it's 9/10, isn't it? 0.62.
Yeah.
Hamilton's pulled out 4 seconds to Bottas. Do you think that Bottas has just got the call to say that's it?
Well,
I
was Toto, I would have said, you haven't got the speed. You've got underfloor damage. Don't even try it. Come home in second. Give us a 1-2.
It's the last lap, and by my calculation, this might just give them the Constructors' Championship. If Megan can pass me a calculator...
Oh, a calculator.
That's somewhere there, so I can work out... Yes, thank you. If I can work out exactly, then they had to score 34 points today, and they'll do it, 43. And Red Bull not scoring a point, so Mercedes will be crowned the Constructors' Champions here today. So that's a nice tie-up for this race, and Lewis Hamilton will win the San Marino Grand Prix. I don't know again. He'll win at Imola for the first time in his career and win the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Bottas looks to hold off the podium, but now there's a second gap. He's closing it down more and more. Kvyat looks good. Perez can't. Leclerc might have just held off. This has been a great race, Dad.
Yeah, it's been an exciting race, and thankfully nobody's got hurt. Apart for we did have a lad that got
the pit stop,
in the pit stop. So it strikes again, but reasonably safe race, and honestly, it's Hamilton's about to win.
Lewis Hamilton comes across the line and wins the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Imola. He keeps the streak of winning at different circuits. Valtteri Bottas comes home in second, and Mercedes are the 2020 Constructors' Champions. They're 7 times a champion. Then comes across the line. Danny Kvyat doesn't get through. It's Danny Ricciardo on the podium for the second time this year. Kvyat 4th, Leclerc holds on for 5th, and Perez is 6th. So it's Hamilton, Bottas, Ricciardo the podium, and Mercedes are the 2020 Constructors' Champions. They are the 7th title in a row and a new world record for clinching the amount of championships in a row. They do it in Ferrari's backyard. Mercedes, the Constructors' Champions of the world.
As usual, sheer dominance because of the fact that so much goes in to making them the dominant team. Absolutely brilliant, Lewis.
Megan?
I'll just let Lewis speak.
Well, Lewis is saying, oh guys, what an incredible achievement. I believe in you. I'm so proud of everybody. So grateful to be a part of it. Thank you so much for this. And that's what he said on the radio.
Right, so I think this is good, and it's Ricciardo on the podium game. That's good for Renault. Yes, it is very good for Renault because it does increase them in the points. So unlucky for Verstappen and for Russell, and actually also for Magnussen, Ocon and Gasly, though mainly for Russell. He was about to get into the points, though also for Verstappen, him losing out on having second or maybe even a first.
Fast lap of the race goes to Hamilton at 1:15.484. It wasn't really in any doubt, was it, Mercedes would win the title this year?
No, we were all expecting that they would win the title.
Dominant in pre-season testing, then went on, what was it?
Fastest lap as well for
Time
Lewis.
penalty for Romain Grosjean, 5 seconds.
And that drops him down to 14th place. Don't know why Grosjean's got a penalty this late in the race. Track limit warning. And now Mercedes have a habit of doing this. Formation at home as well, in the home of Ferrari, to do a formation. They were in a different class. I think also, what a drive from the Honey Badger. Daniel Ricciardo gets third. And he's absolutely delighted with that. And I think another tattoo. Holy mac and cheese balls, Ricciardo says on the radio. And then goes on to say, that's another effing podium. Well, he's managed to avoid swearing once and then swears at the very next breath. How Australian of him.
I'll tell you what, Fernando will be well pleased with that third place, because that's his car next year.
Exactly, it's the same car. Another world record, though, for Lewis Hamilton. He keeps on doing it. 93 Grand Prix wins.
You've got to say, Renault's improvement over the last few months has been astronomical.
I just had to point out, Gwendolyn says a shoey on the podium. I know he forgot in Eiffel, but there is actually one good thing in this. Only he can do it because of COVID.
Nobody else can
do it.
Drink out of it.
No, only he can. So that's relief to Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas.
Right, my driver of the day.
Yes.
My driver of the day didn't finish the race, Georgie Russell.
Yeah, Russell did brilliantly.
But the driver that finished the race, obviously, is Lewis. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic from the whole team. Lewis insisted on keeping out. Won that race by keeping out.
Yeah, he did. That was a perfect Lewis drive, if you ask me, because he was the one. He was determining his own strategy with Bono. He's working well, and they've clinched it. And I think it was very close as he hugs Toto Wolff as well. Valtteri Bottas, his girlfriend's just alongside as well. No congratulations there.
I think Lewis's sister is here as well. Actually,
I believe so. Yeah.
One of his sisters was here.
Angie, big hug.
Ange.
Big hug from Ange. Had to go on tiptoes there because the barrier is actually quite small. There's Stephanie. Lewis very much including, as he said, more equality in the team. And Stephanie was on the podium back at the Austrian Grand Prix and at the Styrian Grand Prix as well, when Mercedes won there. And Bottas congratulating all of the team personally.
That's quite interesting. To me, Angela had two watches on. She got Lewis's other watch?
Might have Lewis's watch, yeah.
Ricciardo
back to you, Megan.
and Hamilton, and then it was Bottas and Hamilton hugging.
Oh, look at this. But Ricciardo with the Renault team, absolutely ecstatic. It's a happy podium here in Imola.
He's a happy lad. He always has been. 30-year-old, isn't he?
Yeah.
31.
I mean, he even just congratulated Mercedes for getting the thing.
I think you've got to. 7 titles in a row now.
Impressive.
It's not the likes of Mercedes
and the
McLaren and Ferrari, but it's 7 in a row.
Bottas is...
Oh, my goodness. Lewis
Bottas
is lifting up Toto.
Yeah, his girlfriend's hoping that he doesn't do that to her with that skirt on. Bottas, she's actually kept in the background, and she's gotten there, giving him his cap.
As we go there's the robots.
The thing is, you've got to say that although we know that Lewis is dominating the things, right? Valtteri, with all his adversity, and he's done a really good job for Mercedes.
He has. Valtteri's been very crucial to the team, and on the day he's beaten Lewis beforehand. It's just not nice what's happened recently where Lewis has been in a complete run, has dominated.
Right, I've got to love you and leave you.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'm giving you the things, right?
Okay.
But I have to leave.
You have to leave. So thank you very much to Ian Birch for joining us here today. Megan will stay with me for the podium. If we can let him out, that'll be a great hand. So thank you to Ian Birch for the commentary today. He's not usually in the commentary box with us. Megan, if you come up this way and join me standing. He's not usually in the commentary box for Grand Prix, so it's nice for once to have all 3 of us in the commentary for the first time. So I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did. But he'll head off now to do race control and another thing. So I'm just going to move this way. Sorry, Megs. Just moving out the box so I can actually stand alongside. So there we are.
Bottas looks happy.
Bottas does look happy, doesn't he? He's a man very much reminiscent of the future, I believe, because he knows Lewis isn't going to last forever. And there's rumours that Lewis is retiring next year. So there's even an advantage he could be champion in 2022, unless Red Bull get it right and Verstappen goes through.
Maybe.
So you're not in Turkey, are you?
I don't think.
No, the driver interviews are going on right now, but obviously we can't broadcast that. So we have to just limit. And we've also been told we can't broadcast the German national anthem now. I had a word with that. But we can broadcast the British national anthem, which gets annoying to conjure the two. So apologies for that. But Megan, just wanted to talk about a few moments of the race while Ricciardo's talking, obviously, with, I think it's Paul di Resta. We had an interesting part. Let's start off with the start and the accident. Now, as you said, Hamilton didn't get a great start. We saw last time in Portugal, the first phase wasn't brilliant, but it's looking quite good for Bottas, who's making more and more lightning starts. How did you read that between the two Mercedes?
I thought it was... I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult to analyse. Okay, Verstappen's accident with the puncture. That must have been caused by debris from Stroll.
Yeah, it must have been.
The front wing at the beginning of the lap.
Also the fact the amount of gravel that was actually on the track.
Punching the tyres left and right. Bottas going into the gravel, letting Verstappen through for second. That was even more heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And George Russell, bizarre accident. Over the bump, hit the accelerator and just flew into the wall.
Strange.
I've never seen an accident like that.
Bump? I don't know.
I know.
That's supposed to be flat.
I do know there is a bump around the top of the hill.
I should really get that
at
sorted.
Lavazza.
Because that was a big accident.
Well, we'll be doing the Sunday race review later on. I'll be doing that. Megan will join us next time. I don't know if you are in Turkey in 2 weeks' time.
I don't know.
Because it's a 10:10 UK start time for the race.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I don't think you will be. I think Ian Birch might be joining me back for that one.
It was the hassle getting this.
Yeah, it was 12:10 start UK time. I think, next time we'll see you actually. Oh, I'm not sure because Lewis can clinch the title next time out. So I don't know if in your contract it locks you into the remaining races. We need to work out.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'll try and work out the gap.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, Megan does the last 4 races of the year, usually, and that's when the title's wrapped up. But, yeah. Megan picked.
Mathematician.
What is it? You pick the season opener, the Monaco Grand Prix, the British Grand Prix, and then the last 4 races, and then you just pick and choose the rest.
Yeah.
That's nice. Oh no, Singapore's locked in usually because that's 2 hours, and there's no way I'm doing that on my own anymore. Yeah.
There's also another race that I usually lock in. Why do I feel like it's Hungary?
I think Hungary's just before the summer break.
Yeah, I think I lock in Hungary.
And then you lock in Spa, don't you?
Yeah.
And then you miss out Italy. Yeah.
I might not miss out Italy anymore because it's so dramatic.
It is very dramatic. It's been great, hasn't it? And we're loving broadcasting them to you with watch-along coverage. I'm sure you're loving it as well. And we thank each and every one of you for watching. We're here permanently, not going anywhere.
Do you know, so far my favourite race has been Monza.
You didn't do Monza.
Wait, which one was I at last? What was it?
Eiffel was the one before, at Nürburgring. And the one before that was
Nürburgring, which I kept pronouncing Nuremberg. That was it.
Mugello is one of my favourites. I think this one's up there for this year.
That and Mugello.
Austria was a great race, the season opener. That was a brilliant one. Unfortunately, we didn't broadcast that live, but you can go back and watch our radio coverage of the Grand Review podcasts back there, and you can listen to the season opening commentary there in highlights. But now we decided, when was it? British Grand Prix. We did all the practice sessions live.
Oh my god!
And then the British Grand Prix, we just decided let's just go for it and do it live. And then we missed out the next one, and then did Mugello.
We just haven't stopped doing.
And then ever since Eiffel, we've just been live throughout because we thought, what's the point in missing?
I actually kind of prefer it this way.
I prefer it this way. It's a lot less. It's a lot less hassle.
Interactive.
Yeah,
as well.
it's also a lot less hassle. Have you noticed? Because we do them live. It's a lot less hassle with the other broadcasts that we do.
Yeah, I actually prefer being live because I've got used to it.
Yeah, I think we are staying live permanently. So we're live next time out in Turkey with whichever punditry team's with you. I'm here all the time. Then we'll be in the 2 races at Bahrain. You'll be joining us for one of those because it coincides with a half term for you.
Yeah, it does.
And we'll all together again for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And then we'll properly start these live streams again next season in the Australian Grand Prix, where we'll have a lot more coverage details in terms of we'll have proper pre-race shows, not just the things we slap together now. We'll have proper pre-race shows, proper post shows, live as well. We'll do away with a couple of the review shows in the evening because you don't need them.
No.
So yeah, we'll nail everything down for 2021. But do join us. Australia, the first race of the year. I think we were discussing throughout the weekend. Looks to be around about 21st of March. And it's delightful for me because I'll be awake at 12:05 in the morning. So I know you're not, and I know Dad's not. So we'll have
12:05 in the morning. That's just before I go to sleep.
Yeah. Well, you won't be doing that. So we'll have some guest pundits as well joining us. I think we're trying to get a guest commentator over Zoom call, so they'll just be alongside me here in the 2-screen view. for the Turkish Grand Prix. We're working on that, but we'll have some guests coming in the commentary box and joining us for a session, and hopefully not just guests as in, oh, it's my mate Steve. No, we're going to have proper Formula One people joining us.
I have a mate called Steve.
We're going to have journalists joining us. We're going to have hopefully ex-team members, ex-drivers even coming in as well. I am trying so hard to get the foot in the door. It's managing well, so honestly, stay with us. Next year is going to be epic here on this channel.
Where we're not all cooped up inside.
Yes, as well. And of course, we're also trying to get to the pre-season testing where that is to deliver some content for you as well. So stay tuned. This is going to grow and grow and grow. Let's get through this year. Let's have some fun. 2021 right here on YouTube. It's going to be fantastic. We just saw a shot back at Brackley from the Mercedes engineers. They were all cheering up and down.
There's a red one.
And the red star for Niki Lauda zoomed in. And the team really wouldn't be here without Niki, would it? And Toto. Their leadership up through 2014 and upwards as well. Niki got Lewis for the team, as well as Ross Brawn. It's so many people you have to thank for 7 titles in a row. It's amazing, isn't it?
It is.
And this is Hamilton, a replay coming across the line to take the checkered flag and win the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. There's the Brackley engineers all celebrating and the 2 cars going side by side on the rest of the lap. Hamilton waving to the marshals and the few fans that are actually in attendance, because this track is surrounded by actual houses. It's in the middle of a village. So the people in the houses were watching the Grand Prix. So this wasn't completely a closed event, which was absolutely fantastic to see. You could hear some cheers in the background. I think this has been a success. Formula One's back at Imola, and let's hope it continues. A new record, Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1 team, 7 consecutive Constructors' Championships. Try saying that when you're drunk, which I'm sure half these members will be at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it.
It's party time. And as the rest of the UK go, by the way, into lockdown on Thursday, and I know the rest of the world is heading into that dreaded second wave.
It doesn't actually affect me because I still got to go to school.
It doesn't affect you, no, but it does affect everybody else. So I want to just say to you,
It did affect me.
every weekend Formula One is on. Come and join us. Let's have some fun. And during the week as well, I must promote, there's one on tonight as well. On Twitch, BBB Racing 1, we have currently 3 fantastic esport leagues commentating on, and they are absolute fun. So come join us, BBB Racing 1 on Twitch for some esport action. That's tonight as well for another one.
Where's Danny going?
And of course, join us as well on my personal Twitch stream, Joshua Birch 1999. I go through some gameplay as well and just have some fun. Let's grow and let's have fun together and relax during this second lockdown. The drivers are finally onto the podium. Danny Ricciardo is in 3rd place. Valtteri Bottas has taken 2nd. Mercedes crew chief for the pit stop goes onto the podium as well. And Lewis Hamilton, a 93-time Grand Prix winner, and Mercedes, a 7-time Constructors' Championship. We will hear, in their honour, the British national anthem. First off, and now the German And that is Lewis Hamilton winning for the 93rd time, and definitely for Mercedes, a 7-time Constructors' Championship. The trophy presented, a map of the track with a special diamond in place where Ayrton Senna sadly passed away, and Roland Ratzenberger as well, back in that dark weekend of 1994. Mercedes get this Constructors' Trophy as well. And they've wrapped it up again here, this time in Europe. We're not in Mexico or Brazil to wrap up this one for the Constructors. We do it in Europe. And now, second place to Valtteri Bottas. It could so have been the win. Somebody mentioned earlier in the group chat on YouTube. Again, it's the curse of pole position here at Imola that strikes again. And Daniel Ricciardo, the biggest smile on the paddock, does it at last. 2 podiums in 2020. Daniel Ricciardo on the podium for the Honey Badger. Not a bad race for him, is it?
No.
And he moves to McLaren as well with the Mercedes engine. That's going to be good. It's champagne time here at Imola. Formula One has returned to Emilia-Romagna, and they have done it in style. A fantastic race has seen Mercedes clinch their 7th Constructors' Championship and Renault take their 2nd podium of the year. Formula One now heads off towards the Middle East as we head on a run. First up, Turkey, before 2 races in Bahrain and riding off in Abu Dhabi. The European season is technically concluded after running here for 13 races. What a year it's been. And now the big question is Danny Ricciardo going to remember to do a shoey? He's sitting down, isn't he? Is he going to take off that shoe? He's taking off the shoe. He's taking it off. He's cleaning it out. He's going to put the champers in it, the nice mum champagne. It's a shoey for Daniel Ricciardo. The only one who can do it. They're practically just flip-flops nowadays. Yeah. Takes off the mask, celebrates with everyone. Only you can drink it. He's going to do it, isn't he? Oh, what's he doing now? What is he doing? Oh, Hamilton! What? No, Lewis, don't. No. Lewis is now saying, can I do it? But not with his boot, not with Danny's boot. He's doing it! They're both doing it! Hamilton's drinking out of Ricciardo's shoe. Hamilton does a shoey, and Ricciardo does a shoey. But, oh my goodness me.
What is it just like, please don't make me do one.
Yeah, what about COVID? What about the COVID procedures? That's breaking several rules. I don't like it, says Lewis. But he did it, and I suppose that's right. But now 2 wet shoes for Danny Ricciardo. Yeah, COVID for Hamilton could just hit at the worst possible time. That's not looking good. November 13th to the 15th, we will be back for the DHL Turkish Grand Prix. The first time since 2011 we race there. 10:10 UK time on the Sunday. The lights will go out and we will go racing. But now I'm slightly worried about Lewis Hamilton there drinking from his shoe. COVID vibes, as Riberson said, just screams there, doesn't it? We'll keep an eye on that one. But Lewis Hamilton does a shoey. Daniel Ricciardo does a shoey. Megan, please, your moment of the race.
Actually, when
Russell crashing?
Yeah. It was exciting.
Was that your moment of the race, really?
Yeah. It brought an element of tenseness to the race. Are we going to be red flagged? Are we not?
8 laps to go, so it was looking good. Right. That's it from us then. Thank you very much for joining us all weekend. I know it's only been 2 days, but it's been quite a dramatic 2 days, I think you can work out. Thanks to Ian Birch, and thanks to Megan Birch for joining me in the commentary box all weekend long. We will be back 2 weeks' time for the Turkish Grand Prix. I'm certainly looking forward to it. I'm sure you are too. On the 13th of November. From us all here, though, thank you very much for watching. We leave you with news that Mercedes are a 7-time Constructors' Champion of the world. Good night.